Troubleshooter Show.
What's up, Grant?
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303, we got a live mic in there. Could you please turn off your mic in there? I'm hearing all of the background noise, guys, and I cannot hear anything else. All right, here. It was my button over here. We had a wrong button over here. So, hey, people, this is live radio. You just heard me bitching and moaning about hearing background noise. How are you doing, by the way? How's life? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm a consumer advocate. We solve problems. We answer questions. We take complaints. We have loads of fun. Usually full lines every once in a while, and we don't know why this happens. Every once in a while, we get a lull here, and then you can get right in. So here's the lull, 303-713-TALK. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I love Frank as a businessman, as a person, as a friend. Oh, man, what a great guy. And, Mark, I just can't even tell you how much traffic he generates when you're looking to list a home. You've done it. I'm doing it. It's amazing.
Hey, the guy has saved me so much money.
But he doesn't just do it for us. He has a team.
No, I know he does.
And he touches every deal.
Well, he negotiates every single deal himself, and his team does a lot of the other stuff. What I wanted to say about Frank real quick, though, is I sat down and had a candid interview with him, a kind of a look behind the scenes. Wait till people hear it at some point. It is great.
Yeah. You know, on holidays and time off, we used to do best-ofs. We're still going to do that, but then we had another great idea. Why don't we go behind the referral list and talk to people like candidly about how they started, what they're doing, what they're...
Do you know how Frank got into real estate? Just
he was a janitor.
Jeez, how did you know that?
Because I knew Frank. I've known Frank for many, many years. He was a janitor at Sears.
That's right.
And then he went into tire sales.
Yes. And
became the #1 tire salesman in the nation.
They offered him a managerial position just in Sears in general, outside of that automotive. But the amazing part is, look where Sears is now. Talk about taking the right path.
303-713-TALK. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Whether buying or selling, 303-920-1622. Talk about another young man who took, well, he's not so young now, but when I knew him, he was young, about 14. George Donaldson, Fix It 24/7. George wasn't 14, but how old were you, George, in your 20s? I've known you for...
I was 18 when I met you, yeah.
18? Okay, so you were pretty young. Mm-hmm. Okay, 18. Were you a master at that time, electrician?
No. I was just getting started at that time.
So he was just getting started with Candlelight. The amazing story there is when they sold, he stayed with the big company and learned how to... economy of scale, how to treat people from one of the best in the business. And he took them under his wing, and really he learned the business from the ground up in a really good way. And then went out to California and started a bunch of businesses, and then he would sell, build them up, but he wanted to come back home, so he took over this small company, Fix It 24/7. Really nice small company, good reputation. But, man, have you grown that sucker. And growth doesn't always mean bad. I mean, we're talking growing in a good way. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. If you have any questions, you can ask them. I have some business questions to ask. I want to know, and I'm not going to do it now, but I want to know, how do you instill culture in people? Have you noticed you go to some businesses, and the people are all jerks and bitches and bastards and moaning and I don't know. They're not happy.
I see it more in restaurants than anywhere else.
Then you go to some places and everybody is nice. What is it?
With a common goal, to make you happy.
You know, but to get down to everybody being happy, it's my contention, if you don't treat your employees right, you're going to get people who sabotage your business. I mean, they don't want you to succeed. Anyway, let's talk. All right, what's going on with Jan? Hello, Jan. How do we help you? I'm Tom Martino. The number is 303-713-TALK, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, the iHeartRadio app, and everywhere else you can find us, especially, of course, KHOW, our flagship station in Denver. What's happening, Jan?
Hey, Tom, before I tell you that
Yes.
culture thing, I happen to work in a firm with a great culture. It's kind of interesting to
What
hear
now?
that.
Now, what kind of culture do you work in?
Well, it's a small firm, and the founders are very good at building a culture of, when you come in, everybody knows what their job is.
You feel
they
like
do
part
it.
of it, don't you? You feel like you're part of something.
Exactly.
That's so important to be part of something. In fact, I'm going to list through the show the important thing on building culture. Okay, so just out of curiosity, since you mentioned it, what do you do for a living?
Well, my elevator pitch is I build and sell spaceships. I'm in the aerospace and defense business.
Oh, are you really?
Yes.
Are you a rocket scientist?
I'm not, but I work around them.
So what's new? What's going on with your parts? Your parts?
Oh, if you don't, space tourism is kind of what's going on today. You have everybody talks about Richard Branson with the Virgin.
Do you think that's
Galactic.
really going to happen, really?
Well, that one, I don't know about, they're still working on that. That's a long time coming. But one of my big customers it just had their 10th flight about 2 weeks ago.
10th flight where?
Off of the owner's ranch down in Texas.
So do you mean seriously there will someday be, or not someday, but soon be private space travel?
$250,000 and you're going to space.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
and it's not against the law. I guess, airspace over the U.S. is controlled to a certain extent. I don't want to get into it all, but over 18,000, I believe, 500 feet. But what happens in space? Is that controlled?
Well, no, yeah. So you're right on the controlled airspace, but for the space tourism to go up, there was an act passed a few years ago that basically absolves the launch customers of, or I should say, it defines the liability in the event that there would be any incident in order to foster the ability to take people.
So the government is actually encouraging space travel.
Correct.
And you personally have worked with private rocket launchers?
Well, he's talking about Elon Musk.
No, it's not just Elon.
No, I think he's talking about Elon.
Not the
SpaceX,
guy in Texas. No.
No.
Yeah, Elon likes to do everything internally, so he has, he's very vertically.
There's a guy in Texas doing this.
I think Elon launches out of Texas.
But that's not who he's talking about.
Got it.
Okay,
no,
now
I'm
listen.
not going to mention his name, but I can give you this. The guy's been in the front page of the news recently.
Would you do me a favor? Could you someday come into the show and talk about stuff without mentioning names, be a common man? I would love it.
You would be fascinated, Tom, because I have a background. I was with another, let's call it an aviation company here locally that you would know. And we brought a new general aviation airplane into the fold.
Did it fail?
And it failed, yeah.
Adams.
You got it.
Yeah, I remember I almost put a deposit on one. Thank God I didn't. But, man, there was nothing wrong with the concept. That was a nice aircraft.
Yeah, well, I could tell you all about that, too. So, yeah, I'd be happy to come on.
I took a whole tour of that facility. I'm telling you, the guy really had balls to do what he did to try to do this. And he was ahead of his time, if anything. Do you know that, right? Because
I know that. I was head of sales there.
Everything that he was doing, they're doing now. He was ahead. And sometimes if you're too far ahead, you just don't I don't know, take root. And then you got to be at the right time. So, Jan, you have a problem with OEM parts and a mechanic. What's going on?
Well, I'll make it real simple. So, I wrote a thing in and kind of told you guys about it, but I go in to get, let's say right now I have to have a timing belt replaced on my Lexus. And so you say, well, okay, timing belt should be these parts, you replace all the things on the front, should be, by and large, everybody should be around the same price. And what happens, and I'm very particular, I want to use OEM parts. And so I go in, and I know what the parts cost, and the guys give me an estimate. And
where'd you go? To a dealer?
No, I never go to the dealer.
Okay.
I go to the independents.
Okay. Did you go to any of our shops on the referral list?
I have to look it up.
Okay. So
they may or may not be on.
What's the discrepancy or concern?
So I'll give you. Well, let me give you the most recent experience. I have motor mounts put on the car, and the OEM motor mounts, which you can buy directly from the Lexus dealer. It comes with the Lexus warranty. In round numbers, were $300, and then you pay the labor to put them on. I go to my usual guy, and he's giving me a price of like $900 to replace 2 motor mounts, and the price of the mounts was almost $500. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying $500. I can buy them right from Lexus for,
yeah, but you can buy. Listen, you can buy a steak from King Soopers, but if you go to Shanahan's, it's going to be different. You know the story. Come on. I mean, obviously there's a markup, and then there's abuse. And
here's a behind the scenes with that, because I was in the business forever. If I bought something from Napa or Factory Auto Parts, I would mark it up 2.5. So if it was 100, I'd sell it for $250. That's just the nature of the biz. If I got it from the dealer, they have a suggested retail that I'd only make 15 or 20% on. So I hated selling dealer parts.
Yeah, but anyway, where are we going with this? Because there's nothing wrong with markups. There's at all. I mean, if the place does it properly, and obviously, Jan, you can buy it for $300. But what are you going to do? Buy it and then take it somewhere to be installed?
Yeah.
Well, okay, but you know what? When you piecemeal like that, let me just say, and again, I don't know if it would happen with mounts, but if you, let's just say you buy mounts, you take it to a mechanic, or you buy part X, it doesn't matter. You take it to a mechanic, then there's a failure. Okay. The mechanic says, hey, man, it wasn't me, it was the parts. You go to the parts, they say, hey, you should have had it done by this people or those people, and then you go to the manufacturer, and I don't know, it just gets crazy. Hold on, we'll get right back to you, I promise. I want to give you time. 303-713-TALK.
I never call a customer's part unless it was something really bizarro.
Yeah, we don't. We won't.
No, it's a nightmare.
I thought he, in his email, that he wanted to know a mechanic that will use OEM parts, and if he doesn't use them, would he use one that I...
He wants to know one. You just can't make any money on them. There's no money on them. The dealers... Now, some of the stuff, if I could buy it from factory motor parts, I could make I could mark it up at least double.
I hate that more than anything, when people quote parts.
So do I. It drives me nuts.
I can buy it for this. Okay, then what?
Then go buy it.
But usually when they research it and what they find, it's rarely actually the same fucking part. Then it's...
I mean, people look up parts on furnaces?
And then a lot of times, oh my... I'll have it all the
Okay, I have
or it's a guy on eBay.
I can't.
Or you'll find it on eBay.
Guys, automatically, when you hear this, stop. Stop talking. Okay. Stop, right? If you're looking for stem cell therapy, you may be eligible for a research study, a real research study where you can get it free. This is not a come-on. This is not a gimmick. This is Regenex Clinics. And they were started by Dr. Chris Centeno with Centeno Schultz, so you can contact them too, or contact any Regenex clinic. They're doing a research study. If you have a rotator tear cuff, a rotator cuff tear, or an ACL tear, that's in the knee, or shoulder, the rotator cuff, you may be eligible to participate. You have to contact them. If so, you get treatment free of charge in one of the control groups. 303-963-9201. Of course, if you just want to be reviewed to see if you're a candidate anyway for any kind of stem cell, call them. 303-963-9201. AvoidSurgeryToday.com.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
So what it is, the live one is on top, and the other one's a recorded one and stuff.
Yeah, I know what that is. Should we have them like that? Eventually, we're going to have 400 of them.
Why not?
Can I just have to check?
I don't know.
It's just the last one you put in there. That way you can watch either the live one.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I don't mind doing that. Dave, the live one's always on the top, bro.
What are we talking about?
Talking to myself.
I had one of our watchers call. He's heard that we stayed at the Gaylord, and so he's staying there for his birthday this weekend, but he's so pissed about the parking fee.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah,
Did
he's
you
like,
tell him we park in our buddy's house?
no, I said we've paid, and we did. We have
How much
paid.
is it?
So it's
30.
30 if you park
It's
yourself,
valet.
40 if you valet. I said,
30
John,
a day?
yes. And they don't shuttle. This is the game where they don't shuttle
That's
to
the
the
Omni.
airport
That's
yet.
almost everybody.
Is that shocking? You fly in, you see that.
The
fly
shuttle
over.
sucks.
It's
You could go
fine.
park at one.
No shuttle to the airport is the most absurdity there, though. I literally complained about that.
Absolutely.
They're fucking idiots.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
They're right there. That would be so cheap.
No, I
But
can't
they'll
even
shuttle
believe
you
that.
to the
And
train.
the train
stop.
station's not even. Yeah, but I noticed they charge for that.
Oh,
That's stupid.
I agree 100%.
Pretty awesome.
Gorgeous.
It's
Gorgeous.
really pretty.
75-foot TV
It's worth
for
seeing it.
second largest TV in the country.
Wait, is it a projection or is
No,
it a
No,
it's
LCD.
TV, Tom.
LED.
It's huge.
Second largest in the country. 75 feet. It's crazy. It's like a wall.
Dangerous game.
It's massive.
Guaranteed wins exist.
Number one is Texas Stadium. They're number two.
You know what I take to hotel rooms?
Half carat.
The thing you bought.
Diamond heart pendant. Only $2.99.
Oh, the projector?
He bought it. It's like this big, and it's a smart box, and it projects on the
On
ceiling.
Valentine's Day and give a gift.
I swear to God.
So he can order those special movies.
For your next ideal home loan.
But you watch in bed.
Did you keep Apple? Or did you sell it?
So I sold it on the Friday. I sold that and
Would you sell it for like
NVDA.
170 or cheaper?
170 something. But I sold it on Friday,
I'm hanging it.
and then on Mondays when that day that it freaking all tanked, and I was like,
Buy more.
and then I was going to, and I didn't, and then it was that. Gosh dang it! I didn't do it.
I've been hanging it. We're 22 bucks a share on that shit, man. Yeah. I think it's back at 200 within a few months. That's why I haven't sold it. So
Why did you get so much?
China.
If they were to come to a deal on these tariffs and this trade thing today, it would skyrocket that day.
You know, that phone that China makes is a good fucking phone. They don't allow it to be sold here. It's a really good phone, though.
It's an iPhone?
No, it's not an iPhone. It's
Is it an
a,
iPhone?
I can't think of the name.
They're made by that company HY or
Yeah,
HUN.
Hawaiian or something.
They're getting blocks from almost every country building
I know.
5G. And,
They say there's, like, secret shit in there.
yeah,
spying on
secret,
people.
in the
Probably.
chip.
Your phone does too.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, so we're going to talk to Jan about his Lexus and a timing belt. And he talked about, as an example, overpaying for motor mounts or potentially overpaying because he found them online for $300. He was going to be charged $900 to replace them. But let's get now to the timing belt. What's going on? And by the way, I have something to say. OEM parts are not necessarily better. In many cases, they are, but not necessarily. Jan, what's going on now with your timing belt? It needs, how many, you're coming up on miles, right?
Actually, it's time rather than miles.
Okay.
I don't drive it a lot, so it's 10 years.
Yeah.
Before,
Oh my goodness. Wow. So you haven't done 60,000 in 10 years?
On that one, no.
Okay. So what's going on? You're going to have it done.
So I'm going to have it done, and so my theory is you go to any number of places. They say, okay, timing belt, replace. Now about this timing belt. They call it belt slap, where they give you a low price. Then they open it up. Oh, now you got to replace the pulleys and the the idlers.
And you should replace all that.
It's called slamming, but
It's a kit, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a whole kit.
comes in a kit.
It's a whole kit. I was just going to say that shouldn't be a surprise, and any good legit dealer will tell you, or legit mechanic, what the price range is. And on that car, I would say 800 to 1,000.
But the reason, real quick, on the kit is because the labor is generally so high on this stuff. Why wouldn't you spend an extra $100 on the water pump?
Anyway, so
I don't mind that. I mean, I know there's a kit.
So have you had it done yet?
I haven't had it done yet.
All right. So what's your concern?
Well, so, and it kind of goes back to the part. So one of the guys, they showed me, they printed out the estimate. They showed the kit. I looked the kit up online. The kit online is like $190, but they're charging me the OEM parts price for the kit.
Is it an OEM kit?
It's not, well, it's a manufacturer that provides the parts to Lexus.
Okay,
So
well, in any case, Jan, here's what matters. The price and the shop for the warranty. It doesn't really matter what you can buy unless you want to be your own general and just buy the parts, find a guy to put it in, and do your own thing. Your argument is lost on me because if you're satisfied with the price,
arguing. I'm not really arguing. I'm just like,
I didn't sense you are arguing. I just said if you want it one way where you buy everything and put it all together, fine.
They've got bills to pay on these shops, man.
But here's what I want to know.
Taxes.
Here's what I want to know. Where are we going with this? What was the price you were quoted for the complete job?
Well, it's all over the board, depending on, some guys.
Well, give me the range.
From $600 to $1,200.
Yeah, it's going to be about 8 to 9.
I think you're right.
And I think that if you go to Pro Auto Care or you go to
Sheridan
Pickering or Sheridan Budget A1, we have so many great shops. I think, Jan, you might think this is bold, but if you go to referralist.com, you're going to be taken care of, and you're not going to be taken advantage of. And you will even find variations, though, within referralist.com. Betty?
The pricing drives me crazy, though, when that's the main argument.
Betty, what's going on?
Hi. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
We had filed bankruptcy years ago.
What year?
In 2010.
Okay.
And I have not heard hardly anything from one of the properties.
Well, you got to explain what you're talking about. You sold a property?
No, it was included in the bankruptcy, and I believe it went into foreclosure.
Okay, this property you're talking about, was it a rental? Tell me about it.
It was a rental property that we had bought for future.
Okay, so you had a rental, and what did you owe on it?
At the time, I believe it was $116,000.
And what was it worth?
That's a good question.
I mean, were you underwater?
Well, at the time of filing of the bankruptcy, yes. Everything went down in 2008.
All right. So was this the only property you surrendered?
No.
How many properties?
10.
10 rentals?
Yes.
How many residences?
Oh.
How many of your own residents? 1. So 10 plus 1?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your concern right now?
Well, I just received a 1098 for one. That was the one that I'm discussing.
Yeah, and how much money are they claiming you made? For forgiven debt, what is it?
$144,000.
Okay. So here's the deal. You don't pay taxes on bankruptcy forgiveness.
Right.
In short, I mean, there are some very rare cases, but that 1098 is issued because they take those losses. But what happens is you are basically being, and they don't even have to send it, you're being given a statement for forgiveness of debt, if that's what it is. I believe it is. It might be something else. I don't know. Is 1098 forgiveness of debt, guys? I haven't looked it up. But here's the deal. I suspect it is. Is it? No. It's mortgage interest. I'm sorry.
And this is for the tax year of 2018.
Right.
Okay. Hold on. But they're saying you paid that in interest. That doesn't make any sense. If they say, how do you get $100,000 in interest that you paid? A 1098, are you sure it's a 1098?
Yeah, it says 1098 mortgage interest statement.
Yeah, the mortgage interest statement is for mortgage interest you paid. You did not pay all that in interest.
No.
So ask your bankruptcy attorney. I have no idea. But I know you won't have to pay tax on forgiven debt.
Right.
On a bankruptcy because there's just a reason, okay? And I'm not going to get into it right now.
Well, I'm just curious. The reason why I contacted your website was because I'm not sure that this is real.
Well, but what difference does it make? It doesn't harm you.
Well, true, I guess.
So what do you care? I mean, what I'm saying is, what do you care?
Well, I just was thinking somebody's got another loan out there or something. I wasn't sure. So.
But even if they did, is that your social on there? Who issued it?
Yes.
Call the bank. Call the bank that issued it and say, I got this form, and I don't know why, since I don't even have this loan anymore.
Right.
Do you still have this property?
Do that and find. No. It was surrendered in bankruptcy. Listen, do me a favor. Call them, and truly, in this show, try to get back to us. Tell them you don't even own that property or have any loan, and tell them it was discharged in bankruptcy. Please. Please, and I'm anxious to know why they would send you that. Barbara, welcome. What's going on, Barbara?
The Barbara, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, first of all, I'm kind of different than your other clients. I'm old, I'm broke, and I'm sick.
Well, we get a lot of old, broken, sick people.
Okay, so...
No. How old are you, Barbara?
72.
Oh, you're not old compared to some. And how sick?
Very sick.
Well,
I have extreme pain all the time.
I don't want to make light of it, but what do you mean? Like you talking?
I had a jaw replacement.
Oh.
And it permanently ruined my face, and I'm in level pain.
Oh, that's terrible. Are you on anything for that?
Yeah, I take pain medications.
Because I mean, pain meds are for those in pain. It's a wonderful thing, obviously, for those truly in pain. But Barbara, what can we do for you?
Okay, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I only make $650 on Social Security. And
you're on Medicaid, right? And Medicare?
Medicare, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But my problem is with this. I'm trying to move into low-income housing.
Right.
I do have a mobile home that I own. But I'm not going to be able to keep up the rent here. And so, obviously...
Do you own... No, you don't own it. You're renting.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you own the home, but you're renting the space.
Right, yeah.
What is your monthly rent?
$565.
Well, how do you can't live on that? Do you get food stamps?
No. So here's the deal. So I'm moving into this low-income housing, and I won't be able to keep up the rent here. So they're going to probably seize the property.
Is it worth anything?
Well, it's probably worth about $15,000.
Is it really? Do you really? But why don't you try to sell it in place?
Well, I will try to, but if I can't,
yes,
they'll eventually seize it.
That's right.
Now, my question is, then they'll turn around and sell it, and they get to keep all that profit then?
If they foreclose on it, yes. And if it's a mobile home, in some cases they repossess it. But here's how it works. If it goes to auction and they pay it, they pay for it, they own it. And yes, they can resell it for profit. A lot of people don't understand that. If at the initial auction it garners a profit, you get the leftover after debts are paid. If it does not garner a profit, and the original lender is the one that wins the bid, the original lender usually puts in what they're owed, along with interest and penalties, usually, to protect themselves. That kind of puts a minimum on it. So if anybody bids less, they don't get it, and the bank gets it. When the bank or lender gets it, now they own it, and they can do what they want with it. So at the initial auction, usually it's worth more. And I mean, not usually. Usually when it is worth more, it comes out there. So hold on, and we'll address your concerns. So many people feel, well, wait a minute, they're going to get the profit. Not necessarily. If it truly is worth more, people will bid more at the initial auction.
That 1098, it's outstanding principal. It has nothing to do with interest.
It says mortgage interest statement at 1098.
I know, but at the box that says they got it's 14,000.
Oh, her form.
Her form.
Where, can you
I emailed it to you.
Okay. Okay, hold on. How am I going to see it?
Let's start off with the good news on the west side.
Is she still on?
Oh, so you told her to go back.
Okay.
Traffic closed.
So this is the 1098, right?
Yeah. There.
First of all, this doesn't even look like a regular 1098. So where's the box? What does it say?
So it's number 2, outstanding mortgage principal as of 1/1/2018.
Okay. All right, fine.
This is one of the properties that went through bankruptcy.
They're just doing that because they're still carrying it on their books.
Oh, okay. Just she won't get charged for it.
What is she charged for?
Well, no, she wants to claim as income or anything.
Well, it says outstanding balance.
Right.
It can't be
630 K-How. From a car landing on a roof to a car
So
landing...
just to keep her informed then, huh?
Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Yes.
We are farmers.
From Art of Granite. Art of Granite is the art of doing things in a beautiful way if you're doing your countertops and cabinets. That's what Mitch Filleria specializes in. And he can give you a price on the phone because he has it down to a science. First and foremost, you pay only wholesale for all materials except cabinets, a small markup. But he's a direct stone importer. If you don't buy what he has, you can use his wholesale account to buy it anywhere. Okay, so now once we get that out of the way, he only charges for fabrication and installation. He removes and hauls away free. He also does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. So you have everything done at one time for one price, and he'll give you that price on the phone. Then you can go to Golden if you like the price and pick the specifics. That price really won't change much. 303-386-5919. Get your price. 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net.
Wouldn't it be nice to win $1,000? Oh my God! That's freaking great, man! Hey, this is John, and I just won $1,000. Keep listening for your shot to win. 630 KHOW. The 16K a day giveaway on 630 KHOW.
That should drop by a factor of 10, 14
or in any other way, and you're wondering, is this what I have to look forward to? Missing work, pain, missing vacations, not being able to do stuff around the house, and who pays? John Fuller is someone you should talk to. Free of charge, complimentary. If he takes the case, it's only payable if he wins, and it's a small percentage of what he collects. Why should you be the one to suffer? 303-597-4500. 597-4500 on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Granberry, healthy cereal for your family. Look what I picked up at the grocery store. Granberry with amazing onyx sorghum. I
Did Barbara say she had a jaw replaced? Is that what you said? A jaw replaced?
No, jaw surgery, right? Or no way. Jaw something. Maybe.
Oh, wow, look at you.
She said her jaw and it really
well, like we can go that far.
Did it say replaced or? Okay. Replaced.
She say replaced.
That's gotta be like bone cancer.
Hey, guys, line 2 called for a problem, and the problem does it a couple weeks ago. It wasn't a big deal, but he mentioned, he goes, "What?" You said, "Why do you care?" He says, "I don't want it to affect my 880 credit score." You said, "There's no way you could have an 880, but I'll let you argue with Mark about that." So well, he has sent proof. Yes, you did. You did. And he sent proof.
But every bank makes up their own. 850 is the standard.
Where's the proof?
Right here, his FICO score.
Right there. I bet you anything it's not his FICO.
Yeah.
And now,
Says your FICO score, 881. So what do you mean you bet anything?
It's not. It's from this. They're different for everything.
And then maybe we
standard.
There is no standard.
Well, no, the most is 850.
Well, wait a minute. There are combined scores. To make an appointment, dial 1. There are combined scores, right?
The different banks will, or different things will have different how they rate them.
Yeah, I know, but FICO is FICO. FICO should be the same, right?
I don't think so.
What do you mean?
Call Ideal. That's exactly what I mean. I mean, that's really what we
just have general questions about FICO, damn it.
They're all over the place. Yeah, it says FICO 850. 300 to 850.
Schedule all your maintenance and what we put in the car. Get your nanny on.
Equifax does 280 to 850. Transfusion 300 to 850. Experian 330 to 850.
It's Fair Isaac Corporation, the largest, this is the largest known of several companies that calculate a score. That's what I'm reading here.
Vantage goes 501 to 990.
The bottom line is there's multiple versions of FICO.
According to this, though, truly there should only be one Fair Isaac. But
no.
Fair Isaac is the one that came up with the algorithm.
Literally go to myfico.com, which is Fair Isaac. They explain it right there.
What do they say? Where is it? Where's the website?
Champions of the people.
It's Fair Isaac themselves?
Yeah. Here, I'll send you the link.
Send it on that Google. No, whatever.
It's to T. Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK.
We're talking about bankruptcy, so I should give out our bankruptcy expert, winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. Mike and Gigi Wink. And they have stopped foreclosures before, but we looked into this, and that woman, if she calls back, I think we have some more information. She did not get interest paid. If you look at this 1098, it shows 0 interest paid. 0. It's just talking about the outstanding loan balance, and they're just reporting it on the books. Has nothing to do with her. Now, Barbara is disabled, in pain, 72, making $650 a month on Social Security. She can't afford to live where she is right now with a mobile home rent of $565. She wants to move, and she said if they foreclose or repossess this, depending on how it's titled, what do they do with the profit, assuming there is profit? So, Barbara, here's the deal. If it's worth 10 to 15 or 15 to 20, whatever it's worth, do a fire sale. Put it up for sale cheap and get at least 10 grand or 12 or 13 or 14. Get some money and before you leave. But if you leave it up to them, they're going to auction it, and auctions usually bring lower prices. But you can't help it. It's either one way or the other. I don't think it's going to have as much value as you may think, but how old is this mobile home?
It's pretty old.
How old?
70s, maybe.
Okay, is it a double wide?
No, it's a single wide.
It's not worth $15,000.
No, it has a garage, and it's even though it's a single, it's a double. I mean, they made it into a double.
How much of it is double? They literally built one half onto it again?
Right.
Or they...
Yes, they built one half on.
Or they made it.
On all of it.
They doubled the space.
Right.
How is the quality of trim and finish?
Well, I repainted it with my friend this summer. It's pretty good.
Well, where is it located?
Colorado Springs. I'm in Colorado Springs.
What area?
It's La Cresta Homes.
Here's why I'm saying it. First of all, here's the problem with mobile homes as an investment. They're not investments, but here's the problem. When you're in a mobile home park, usually they have to approve the owner.
Right.
So if somebody wants to buy it, they can make it difficult on purpose because why? They want new mobile homes in there.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. You could always rent it out. Have you ever thought of that?
Wouldn't that same issue come up that the renters would have to be approved?
I don't know. You have to look at your lease. But if you rent your mobile home enough to pay for your lot rent plus a little extra, what would be wrong with it except they might wreck your place?
Yeah.
But then again, listen, at your age, you don't care ultimately if they take it. They can't come after you for anything. You're judgment proof. So,
well, I don't even care about the money for me. It's just I wanted to give some money back to people that have helped me, you know.
Well, try to sell it.
Yeah, okay.
Try to sell it, and we can help you even by putting the word out. If you have some photos, send it to us. Right now, if anyone's interested, in what area of the Springs would this be?
I guess it's east.
East Colorado Springs. How far from the center of town are you?
Probably 3 miles.
Okay, 3 miles from the center of town, East Colorado Springs.
Best view of the Pikes Peak area.
Beautiful views. And you say it's in really good condition.
No, I said it's not really good condition, but it's in good condition.
Okay. What's your gut telling you it's worth, Mark? 8 to 10?
I'd have to see it. They're so hard. I mean, I have no idea. You got to move them.
But in this climate, if you got a working family or working husband and wife that can't afford a house, I mean, this might be ideal for them.
Well, that's the other problem. This is a supposedly luxury senior park.
Okay. So no kids.
No kids.
Okay. 55 and older, right?
Right.
Well, some people might like that. If anyone is interested...
The park is really, really a nice park.
The name of the park is...
La Cresta.
La Cresta. Pass the word around the Springs. La Cresta Mobile Home Park. She's got an older trailer, you know, but she's kept it up at least, right?
Right.
Okay. And it's got a garage. And a lot... How much space do you have width-wise? The normal mobile home is 8 feet.
I don't really know.
Is it 16 feet?
It might be. I don't really know.
And does the extension go all the way down the full length?
Yes, it does, sir.
Okay. Send us some photos. Meanwhile, we'll get your information, and Suzanne will pass it along to anyone that might be interested, and we'll make sure, well, not make sure, but we'll try to not pass on, you know, crazy people. people that might try to rip you off here. Brian, welcome to the show. Brian, what's going on with you? Brian? Brian!
Yeah, this is Brian.
What's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, I was looking for some advice. I was thinking about doing this MetaShare thing, and I heard you say something about it the other day.
Yeah, I said you get to pay, and they get to turn you down for everything. And I don't know what they share. I mean, they share my money with others, but I never got one thing. Listen, I'm going to tell you, not one thing covered in the entire time I had it. Not one thing. Not one.
How long were you?
I don't know. Long enough to know they didn't cover. Maybe a year or more, a year or two. Here's the deal. I did it as a stopgap because I was about to get social, Medicaid, Medicare. I mean, listen, man, I don't know. There are families that swear by it. So I don't know if I'm a fair assessment. Yeah. Brian, you don't have to be on the exchange anymore. I would just call Integra Insurance and let them work it out. They'll find a really, they can find an option for you. Are you alone?
Yeah, I'm single right now at the moment. And
I don't think
I'm 60 years old.
Nope, I don't think it'll be good for you. Nope, you're almost in my position. I don't think it'll be good for you. Nope, not as a single man. I think you can do better getting other kinds of insurance, or just get a catastrophic plan, Brian. Just enough to get you through the hump. Here's the deal. Integra Insurance, they're on my referral list. That truly will be your best option, to call them.
This report is sponsored by Russell Stover.
Highway Drive, 1 minute, Raleigh House 30 spot. There's some activity southbound I-25 near county line off of the...
Are we doing that thing?
Debris on the highway, so just travel through there with caution.
Tom's interviewing you right after the show right here.
Travel through there with caution. The rest of the highway drive wide open in town. No other stalls are...
Brett, we need some recording after the show.
And it's going to be how long? We're going to do 15 minutes, right?
Parker Road at 225.
15 minutes on the
no, you're going to do probably 25 and then bring it down to around 18 to 20 for me. I got a little too little. I didn't realize.
Right now,
by the time I got rid of
House 30 spot.
J gassers all the time.
K-How.
It's funny, you see people's quirk when it's...
Jay does what?
Not so much. Luckily, Russell Stover is here to remind you to get your grandma a heart-shaped box of
You might not have a feeling good.
Just don't forget. Russell Stover. Make happy.
The Raleigh House is a treatment center for addictions of all kinds, substance abuse, legal drugs, illegal drugs, illicit drugs, alcohol. Here's the deal. The number I'm going to give you is to call them if you need any information whatsoever, at all, any information, 720-963-9201. If you have an addict in your life and you need to know how to approach them or what to look for or how much it costs or what to do, 720-963-9201.
Yeah, the true FICO score is 300 to 850.
No, that's not. I know what this guy's saying. There is, like, FICO number 3 might go to 900, but it's only used for credit cards.
Or cars. There's some cars that go to 990.
There's 9 of them. There's 9 or 10 different models.
But the actual FICO.
But why? Because it depends on what you're doing. If you're buying a house, you would use FICO 8 or 9. If it's just for determining if I should give you a $500,
8 or 9?
it's going to dig into your credit to the point where...
Is 8 or 9 a signifier? Is there a FICO 1, 2,
yes,
3, 4?
That's right. The newest is 9. 3 is like just for credit cards. Because they don't care if you have, example, 5-year-old medical debt if you're applying for a $1,000 credit card, or for like a, a Bloomingburg or whatever credit card. But they might care about that if you're going for a mortgage, or vice versa.
Nobody beats buy and build for below wholesale.
The most common used one for auto and bank cards is FICO 8. FICO 5 is lenders, as in mortgage.
4800 Washington Street. It's a big, ugly warehouse. Not big.
They're just all different. Like I've got numerous different FICO scores. My highest one is over 800, but it's only used if I'm buying a car.
Buy and build 4800 Washington Street.
How do you find out all these different ones?
That I don't know. Most people never know. I mean, you just never know. You just have no idea. That's how.
Does his say where he got his?
He's getting his from his bank, which is something his bank came up with.
But it doesn't come up with a number also?
No, but that'd be completely different if I pulled it.
And I've read that before, it is, certain banks do.
Well, they have their own deal.
Yeah. So 990 is the highest I've seen that actually goes up for house for cars. Some people use.
You can count on it.
Joe Lazara might be good for Kevin. Of course, he's never available, but we'll try.
Dan, how about your 2 cents worth? Well, it starts with a quality window or door, yes, but I'm here to tell you, the preparation, installation, and finish are exactly why they'll be able to join those and say, done right, did right by me. So folks, whether it's kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, or even replacement windows and doors, as always, you have our word, treat you right, get done right. 303-722-22.
My overall credit is 805.
Or DR.
How do you know?
Yeah, but you don't even know that.
Ideal home loans for your next
So
ideal home loan.
Trans is 805,
Optimization
Equifax
in order
is
to get even
788.
better rates. They also have to pick your
Experience
term loan. You may
793.
not want to go
Yeah,
back
but follow
to
me.
30 years.
Even those
Whatever
numbers
term you
are
want.
different
If you
depending on
refinance
who's
or
quoting
you
them.
purchase and rates go down.
Like
they
if you
will
filled out for a
refinance
mortgage,
with all
they would have a
lender
different
fees.
model than what you're seeing there. It doesn't matter if it was TransUnion or Equifax or whatever. When a mortgage lender pulls it, they'll ask for like, okay, we want FICO 2, FICO 8, and FICO 5. Then they'll take those.
Right now, and they told
So I
me
get
mine
my
was
cholesterol
788.
checked regularly. And when my doctor told me my
Supposed to be,
cholesterol
I mean,
was
it's-
borderline, I found garlic.
Actually, yeah, 788
According to my
fine.
pharmacist, there's an ingredient in garlic that helps me.
But they do go up to 8, 9.
And one garlic.
Only some of them. The majority only go up to 850.
Except it's
I mean, at the end of the day,
Yep, I'm doing what I
once
can.
you're over 700,
And I'm doing it. with
720 is like
garlic.
yeah, like once you're over that, it is.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it's 720, 800,
Whatever.
820, like it's all.
Is it 730?
I thought it was.
It's all the same.
Yeah, like 0% interest and all that shit. It's usually 720 or 730. You're done.
Yeah. But it makes a hell of a deal on just on your car insurance. It makes a big deal.
Start saving. Walgreens. Trusted.
Oh yeah.
On your car insurance?
Yeah, people don't
Absolutely.
realize that either.
Absolutely.
Because they figure you won't fucking pay them. You're a high risk. Has nothing to do with
Yeah,
anything, but you don't pay your bills.
Surprised how much it
Just to
affects.
clarify, the
Oh.
one you wanted Lazaro
15-20%.
he's not up on charges
Shitty
of
credit.
a lift pass,
And if
he's a
your credit's
driver,
real
and one of
shitty,
his
some of the
passengers
big ones
accused
won't
him
even
of
take it.
drinking.
You literally
Just-
can't
but I
get
can
it.
try
Even
to
if
get
you have
Joe
a great
Clean.
record but a 500 credit score, they don't want you because they know eventually you're not going to pay your bill. So it doesn't matter.
Well, what does it matter? They don't insure you unless you pay your bill.
Right. But it's
I mean, what do they care?
It
I think
It's not like
they
it's not like you get something.
No,
you
but
pay ahead.
maybe you get a card. I don't know.
But they just assume that if you have bad credit, you're probably not a good driver. It's all statistics.
No, that's true. Actually,
Yeah.
yep. People with really bad credit aren't good drivers.
I'm serious.
But there is
Fox News update.
there is people that have shitty credit that probably are good drivers.
Right.
But in general, you're probably right.
It's all risk and statistics.
Right.
It's all real.
There's young boys with great drivers, and they
get dinged.
Their boy.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-255. Fix it 24/7 in the house. We're going to talk about building culture in a company. If you ever go to certain companies, you'll notice they have certain cultures, certain feelings. And stay tuned for that. And then, of course, if you have questions on plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains, give us a call. And then we're going to hit them up for a special. Kevin, what's going on with you?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
What's happening?
Hey, so I drive for Uber and Lyft. I do it part-time just for some extra income. I had a passenger yesterday morning that apparently accused me of driving drunk.
Wow, that's serious. That's serious. Now, accused you with the cops or with who?
With Lyft. So
now, this was more than just feedback. This was a complaint?
Yeah, she actually called the safety.
Now, did she say you smelled like liquor?
No, so she said I was swerving and braking erratically and kind of like lethargic, I guess you would say.
What kind of well, you tell me about you. How did you how was she to you? I mean, how was the experience?
So she gets in like she owns the car and says, I need a phone charger, an Apple charger. And I told her, I said, I don't have one. Well, she about flipped her lid. And I think that's what started it. So
did she leave a tip?
No, it was a 20 mile drive. So I made about $23 off of it. but whoever she was speaking with on the phone was very upset too that I didn't have a phone charger. Like, it was a whole community deal. And maybe 5 words were spoke the entire trip. And that was it.
It would be really nice to have a dash cam in these situations.
Well, that's why I'm calling you.
Why?
So I'm getting conflicting reports from both Uber and Lyft saying that I can have a cam or I can't.
You can have a dash cam for, I'm talking about for looking outside the vehicle and you're driving.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So
they can't prevent.
saying,
how can they prevent you from having that?
They're saying it's I need to go by what the city says, and that's what I'm trying to find out.
By what the city says, there's no one that I know anywhere that outlaws a dash cam. You're just taking a record of your driving.
Right, and I agree with you.
And first of all, cities don't make those kinds of laws anyway. So what does he mean by that? What do they mean, what the city says?
I think they want to make sure, because if I'm recording the passenger, what if I
But
have
you're
a
not
camera?
recording the passenger. You're recording your driving.
Right, but they do have the rear-facing cameras that you can have facing the passenger.
Well, okay, if you want one of those, you have to get consent. I mean, if you want to record someone sitting in your cab and record what they say, record the whole thing, you have to get some kind of consent. Well, actually you don't. Technically, you know what? Technically you don't. Because in this state, it's a one-party consent. So I was wrong. Where it depends, well, as they said, not what the city says. It depends what the law says. George, what were you saying? It depends on your state.
Yeah, it does depend on the state, but I don't know of any state that says you can't have one. We had them in our trucks. We've had them. I had them in my daughter's car.
But you're doing in your trucks with your workers' consents.
The driver, correct. But if some passenger jumps in there, because it's recording both.
I understand, but you don't have passengers in your work.
You can't get a copy of the recording unless there's an incident anyway.
Here's the deal, okay? I believe that there are states that have two-party consents, or not two-party, but you have to get permission. You have to get consent. In Colorado, only one party has to be apprised. So if you're doing the recording, you're the party. If you put it in someone else's van, they have to give their approval. At least one party has to give approval. I know that for sure from being in the media. But in other states, it might be different, Kevin. I don't think it should be a big deal because you're in Colorado. And in Colorado, it's a one-party consent. I'm Tom Martino. We have a lot more to go. Stick around. 303-713-TALK is our number. 713-8255.
Well, and the passenger gets in and sees the big camera in there. So it's right there. You can't miss it.
But in TV, okay, that's called implied consent. When you do a man on the street, you know, obviously, and obviously, if there's a big camera, here's the deal though. You'll notice little signs that say this premise is monitored by camera or is recorded. That's because they want you to know. And they figure if you still go in, you're giving consent. But I don't know, but in dash cams, anybody can do a dash cam.
Have you heard? There are loans. But isn't that just for to be legal in a court of law? I mean, you can record someone as long as you don't use it.
No, here technically you can't record.
Finally, I found the answer. Base FICO scores, score 8, range from 300 to 850, while industry-specific, such as auto and credit cards, range from 250 to 900.
I thought I seen 199.
Well, there's a Vantage score that might even be completely different.
That's what the Vantage. There was a Vantage.
People have no idea. You know, here's the bottom line. People don't care once they get the credit they're looking for.
Exactly. But I think you do owe that guy lunch.
I don't know.
Sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows you'll do it right to save on updates to your bathroom. And you do it right, too. With up to
Yeah, that's crazy. Trump, 52%. Go, brother. That could be the highest ever, really. Is that what it says? Yeah.
His speech, I mean, was
he killed it.
He freaking knocked it out of the park.
There was a couple things I thought, oh, they're going to bitch about, but in general, for him,
he didn't do anything stupid.
Nothing.
Did you hear what was MSN got him on the people that are being raped? He says 1 out of 3. It was 31%.
I know they bitched over about 2.1%. How dare you lie?
I know it. That was their fact checking. That's what they did because he said 1 out of 3.
Number, though, isn't it?
And
one out of 3 women are basically screwed with coming over.
I mean, who would, normally everybody would say 1 out of 3 if you're quoting like that.
Anybody would.
Of course.
Well, I would.
You should have said, well, 31 out of 100. That's what they wanted them to say. Oh, the media is just nuts.
He did a good job making the Democrats look stupid when they didn't clap for so many of the things that, you know.
Oh, don't say anything about that Cortez. He likes it.
Thanks, Janet.
Yeah, he does.
Who does?
She said she wants to give money to this cracked me up. This cracked me
You don't
up.
like her.
No
way.
People,
That girl's dumb as freaking.
People, no. What you completely miss is she's impressive to the fact she got to where she is, being so stupid with ideas that suck.
Hold on. Why did she get voted in?
I have no idea.
Who is she?
Why somehow she talked a bunch of.
No, she said she was from the Bronx when she.
Oh,
that
woman that
wants to tax 90%.
Ultimate change.
No,
I have no
politics
idea.
of greed. Give it to me.
Oh, you think so? And because
For
she,
sure.
For
He
what?
got 90-something% of the black
So you're
vote.
saying if he was
Straight
a
off
white
the bat.
guy, he wouldn't have got in.
He wouldn't have.
Who? There's an argument to be made there.
He for sure wouldn't have.
If he truly got 90% of the black vote, I'd agree.
He got 90-something% of the black vote. For sure. And I can't tell you how many people I know that weren't black that said, oh, I just thought it'd be cool to have a black president. He got a bunch of non-black votes just because of that as well. She got voted in because she's a woman. That's it.
I know people who said they voted
Well,
for.
she said even people that choose not to work should get fucking benefits. That's the best. I mean, you can't get any better than that. I choose not to work. Where's my check?
No, she was not definitely. She is worse than Bernie Sanders.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you're
She
right.
wants a paycheck for everyone.
I like how no more jets in 10 years. No more air travel. No more fucking air travel in 10 years.
She says life as we
You
know
can
it
take
will
trains.
cease to exist in 10
How the
years.
fuck do I take a train to Europe? Where is this train?
1 minute.
Do you know how the entire world would slow down if you didn't have air travel?
Oh my God! It would come to we wouldn't get anything from. Well, I guess most of the shit from China comes on a barge.
People don't even understand what an automobile does. Do you realize that when people lived in Colorado Springs, to go to Fort Collins was a 3-day trip?
Oh yeah, wagons
or 4-day trip. That was, you were going away, far away, to visit family.
Oh, I know.
People don't even understand.
When they say go west, I mean, you'd never see them again. That was it.
Okay,
They went west.
I got it. 20 seconds.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows you'll
And
move
God
up,
help them
save
if they
a lot.
went through.
It's unbelievable. Okay,
Slaughterfest.
10 seconds. I'm turning mic on. Mic's on. You know, I've been looking at houses informally, and every time there's a nice house on the market, it goes under a contract pretty quickly. If you want your contract to rise to the top, Ideal Home Loans has a pre-approval. Oh, they have all kinds of other programs for you, but the pre-approval is the one you need to know about now because it is literally a cash deal. Because you can close in 3 weeks or less, you've already been approved. Not pre-qualified, approved. Absolutely approved. And the number is 303-867-7000 to get started. Not to mention their interest rate guarantee. That's right, they refinance your rates go down free of charge. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. So, get started now, get your pre-approval, hold it until you find a home. When you do, you can make an offer and know that you're already financed. 303-867-7000.
2019 is here, and rates are still in the low 4s. Denver's housing market is continuing to increase.
I like how she got in office. I do, man. I don't know what else to say. That 22-year-old that got in office.
22.
How old is she?
27. But many of our clients are paying off their credit cards before rates.
She's got some good ideas, too.
Free college, a paycheck for everyone.
Even if they choose not to work.
And then some
free college,
health care,
free health care
for everybody.
free paychecks,
Open borders.
open
What borders? There is no borders. If you're not open, there is none.
No, but here's what I want to know. Who pays for it?
The
Those
billionaires.
500 billionaires. Somehow those 500 billionaires are going to pay for everything.
I like the guy from Starbucks. He literally came from the Bronx with no money, and he gets punished now. Honest to God, is that not the American dream? You start with nothing and you end with $1 billion? But let's take that away, because that greedy bastard,
He's a greedy bastard.
selling coffee for $4.
How dare he do that?
He was the first one not to give free refills on coffee.
Oh, is that what he said, no refills?
No, they don't do refills.
I know. Was he the first one that did? You go to most of the phase, so, you know, you
In
buy
the old days, there were no free refills.
There wasn't?
Oh, no, you would pay for every cup.
Like, I remember Dunkin' Donuts, they always had refills. They keep your mug filled.
No, I'm telling you, there was a time you literally sat down, and if you had a soft drink and they filled it up, you paid again.
Oh, definitely, yes.
And coffee, too, in restaurants and diners.
Yeah.
You would pay. You would pay for every one you had. You know, I was at a restaurant in New York. I was at a restaurant in New York. My bill came to $300 for breakfast. I was with Donna. Every time they came over and filled up my orange juice, it was $12.
Listen to this.
For orange juice.
We were in Vegas probably a year and a half ago. One of my favorite restaurants there is called Hugo's Cellar. Great steakhouse, Del Frisco's like.
Where?
I got my bill. It's in Las Vegas. I got my bill. I've been there 5-10 times over my life. Got my bill. We had both kids with us. They charged $6 for refills on Dr. Pip and Pepsi. I fucking didn't give one tip, and I complained and told them I'll never be fucking back, and I threw a fucking fit.
They charged for
the first time ever as well. I was bored.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you have a garage door, you need to keep One Clear Choice close. I mean, like, you know, close, meaning you need to know about them. Just remember the website, look up the number, oneclearchoicedoors.com. Now, I'm a consumer advocate, and I truly take seriously who I recommend. I really do. And you need companies that you can depend on, but we also need to avoid the bad guys. And we have the bad guys listed at sleevesbrigade.com, but not all of them, because sometimes they don't rise to that level. You just need to know about them. We've had complaints over recent time with a number of different companies, and you need to listen to the podcast to keep abreast of it, or call and ask if you've heard about a problem, you want to know how it ended up. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. They do a free Martino inspection as well, where they inspect all basic elements, adjust the hinge bolts, and check all the safety adjustments. And that's free. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Okay, so listen, we have George with us from Fix It 24/7, FixMyHome.com. We have a number of people on hold I'm going to get to, and then we're going to talk about building culture in a business. If you're in business, how do you build a culture? Do you ever wonder why some companies are happy and the people are happy? Joe first wants to get on. He wants to talk about his credit score. He says he has an 880 FICO score. And go ahead, Joe.
Well, actually, I didn't expect to talk to you, but I called you a month ago.
I can put you on hold if you want.
Well, you're the one that put me on, so I'll finish my speech.
Okay.
A month ago, I called about a problem. You said, what do I care? I said, I've got an 880 credit score, and I don't want it damaged.
Yeah.
And you said, there's no such, verbatim, there's no such thing, but I'll let you and Mark argue about that. So I said, to myself, Tom, you're wrong. I sent proof to Suzanne this morning, so okay. I just want you to know there is such a thing as an 880 out of 900 credit score.
Okay, but Joe, you're right. However, it is only one kind of FICO or two that go to 900. The mortgage scores do not, nor do most.
Like the new one, FICO 9 only goes to 850.
Yeah.
Credit card ones and automotive.
Right, go to
900.
900.
And I think they're called FICO 3 and FICO 8.
And I didn't know about those two, but in general, if you were to go for a mortgage or something, that's how I generally view FICOs. But you're right, there are two categories of FICO that go to 900.
There's 9 categories of FICO presently, 1 through 9.
So there are 9 in total of FICOs, which I only thought a FICO was a FICO. Did you know there were 9 different FICOs, Joe?
I had no clue.
So what is your FICO? What is your FICO for a mortgage? I'm just curious. If somebody had an 880, for a FICO or for a FICO on credit cards, wouldn't they have near perfect on the other one? Don't they correlate?
Yeah, I'm sure they correlate. I'll give you an idea, though. Like FICO 9, this is a big difference between FICO 8 and FICO 9.
Yeah.
FICO 9, if you had a delinquent credit card account, just credit card,
right,
and let's say you owed $1,000 on it and it went past 60 days.
Right.
If you eventually paid it off and it was net zero,
right,
in other words, they got paid in full.
Right.
Then it's like it wasn't there. On FICO 8, it would show over 60 days. That's a big difference in
the score. And it would still show, and it would affect your score tremendously.
On FICO 8, it would affect it tremendously. On FICO 9, it wouldn't.
Now, Joe, the theory behind different FICOs is if you were late on a medical bill and you eventually paid it, they don't care about that when it comes to a mortgage, right?
Or maybe a credit card company or an automotive lender doesn't care about that, but a hospital might.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much, Joe. 880 is an amazing score. But, Joe, could you find out what, just for the heck of it, are you still there?
Yeah.
Could you find out what your regular FICO is? I wonder if it's perfect.
Know.
What is it?
I already know. It varies anywhere from 825 to 840.
Yeah, this guy's got, like, perfect credit.
Yeah, 850 on the mortgage would be perfect, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, God, his is perfect.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay, so, by the way, what was the issue you were worried about? What was the one you called about originally?
Yeah. I was, someone fraudulently signed my name to a lease.
How did you get that? How did you get it resolved?
It's not fully resolved yet.
Oh, it was a digital lease, too, wasn't it? He had some people that worked for him that he said he was going to co-sign, but he didn't.
Right.
Well, I was never given the opportunity. And then they tried to lock me into all these terms in the lease when I was never even given the opportunity to sign.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to enforce that.
Yeah, so it's in progress. It's in play.
Here's the deal, though. When it comes to scores, you're going to hear something else that you don't like. They don't care if it's over 800. In fact, over 780, they don't care.
I think like over 730 even is pretty much great.
If a lender, if they have borrowers from 750, let's say, to 850, it wouldn't matter, would it?
Yeah, see, a lot of times when you see, like, 0% financing on a new car, if you have over 730, you're good. Under that, you might have to pay 1% or whatever it is.
Carmine, what's happening?
Hi, this is for Landmark?
Yeah, are you Carmine?
Yes, I am.
What's happening?
Well, it's nothing. I tried to get a hold of a lawyer. I called you last year.
Tell us what's going on.
Actually, nothing. I called a lawyer who accepted my case, and I can't get him to really respond.
Well, then, when you say he accepted your case, what kind of case?
Okay, well, he said that Landmark actually broke the law.
Okay, can you please just tell us the problem? We're totally in the dark.
The movie theater?
Okay.
No.
The problem was that I gave a down payment to a garage company called Landmark.
We've heard of them, and we've had problems in the past with them.
Well, and he disappeared. I mean, he's still got the address and still...
How much did you pay?
$3,750.
My God. This is a when did you do it?
Last March 28th.
Okay. You know what? That is against, I mean, it could be a criminal act because of the Contractors Trust Act.
That's what the lawyer told me.
Yeah, and this lawyer, obviously, how much did the lawyer want to charge you?
Well, I put in a $500 retainer, and now I can't get a response.
Well, that's bad. I hope you didn't find that attorney on my referral list.
Right. Well, that's a different case.
No, did you find the attorney on my referral list?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I got it from another company.
All right, so this Landmark Garage, are they still in business?
That best as I know.
What's the guy's name you dealt with?
It was Merrill Miller, and I believe he is the principal owner.
If I were you, I would open up a small claim, but I would go to the attorney, not the attorney general, the district attorney about a Contractors Trust Act. This is a clear violation. Do you have proof of payment?
Yeah, I have the check.
Okay, I need it. I need it. Suzanne, have him take a photo of it with his phone or something. We need to get Landmark Garages up on the Sleaze Brigade. I mean, this is bad news. I didn't realize that you got absolutely nothing. The guy never, ever, ever set foot on your property?
Nope. I got nothing. The only only contact I've had with Merrill is that my lawyer did send him an email and a certified letter last, in the fall, October, November, and Merrill picked it up. He didn't pick up my 2 certified letters, but he picked up the lawyer's and signed for it. The lawyer charged me the mail, $50 for the time and effort, and then now everybody's disappeared again.
They have an F rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Okay.
These guys are bad news. Landmark Garages in Wheatridge, right?
I believe that's where they are.
Okay, Suzanne, would you hunt for his photo if we can find him, and we need to see your your check if you can, and any contracts. Be forewarned. Landmark Garages. Landmark Garages.
Switch me over if we don't get back.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
There's a couple of trouble spots on the Highway 5. 1 minute budget A1 60 spot. County line 2 was
60 spot.
The highway, so
That's
CDOT has some trucks out there trying to get that cleared up and cleaned up out of the way.
You sure that's a 60?
Slowdowns along that stretch. Also, activity up to the left. It doesn't specify otherwise. You sell it? And of course, is westbound I
can't change it now.
I don't know if he knows it's a 60 though.
How do you decide it's a 60?
Highways is looking pretty good in Kent. If it doesn't say 30, I make
Okay.
it 60.
Okay.
Right now, a few clouds and 30.
We need to get on track.
Between 60 and 30 every time.
Hey, how?
Lowe's knows you do it right to
I'm going to look up where
10 seconds.
Okay.
by saving you $600 on a GE stackable washer and dryer pair. Do it right for
When I was growing up in New York, they had this Crazy Eddie that did stereo deals, and it would say, Crazy Eddie. Well, I'm going to say Crazy Mark Machowski at Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair because it's a crazy deal. Listen, if you have transmission trouble or you suspect it, and you're inclined to get it fixed, now you're not obligated, but you want to get it fixed if it's the car you're driving. He'll take apart the transmission free of charge to get you an exact estimate. Free of charge. If you decide to have the work done, he doesn't back charge you. If you decide to take it somewhere else, he won't charge you. If you decide not to get it done because it turned out to be more than you expected, he will not charge you. It is a no-lose situation. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. I mean, I just think it's incredible. They're on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. 303-781-9858. That's free teardown and inspection. 303-781-9858.
I started my business in 1986 and began paying employees. I was handwriting checks and saying,
What's that, Mark?
Go. Don't cash it until Tuesday.
Landmark Garage is bad news, man.
A teenage employee said his dad
You heard of him
wanted to see
before?
his pay stub.
Yes,
Pay
but
stub?
we didn't have
We
one
don't
where
have
he did
pay
absolutely
stubs. Get
nothing.
back to work. He said, Dad works for the government and state law requires I receive a pay stub. Uh-oh. Hi, I'm Mike Campbell, CEO of...
Is Greg Hollenbeck still around?
After many emergency calls, I learned how to correctly...
I don't know,
payroll
because I
taxes
see
and
his
create pay
Facebook
stubs.
page here.
Well, he must be there.
He must have logged in
that
here
day
on the weekend.
barely. That's why I created Patriot Software, to help small business owners do their payroll taxes correctly with pay stubs. And if you need help, we will help you for free. Go to patriotsoftware.com and enter promo code RADIO, and I'll give you 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
Did you know you don't have to go to dealers for scheduled maintenance on your new car?
Universal basic income.
Owner Al Aramis.
Are you shitting me? Universal basic income. I mean, people just get so stupid. But it's always giving away other people's money.
Why would
notice that?
Why would anybody work? Let's say there was this, and it was minimum wage. Why would anybody work?
No one would.
Why? It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
But why should people be punished for making more?
They shouldn't be. And if they are, they won't be.
Like, why do so many people think that, right?
I mean, I believe
Because
we
they
have
don't
to
understand.
attend to those. No, those of us, those in need, should be helped.
If you can't work for real, yeah, like
And
fucking legs were blown off.
Not just because you're lazy.
But even those who are lazy shouldn't die. We should have something to not income. We should have like maybe poorhouses, for God's sake. If you want to not work, literally not work at all, and you're a lazy son of a bitch, well then
We already know the poorhouses suck. We call them prison.
We can't let them die.
No, but we already call those prison right now, and if you look how much per inmate it is, it's like $60,000 a fucking year. It's cheaper to give them 20.
But that's garden.
Well, yes, you're right. You're right. There's a lot of.
I don't know. I mean, okay, obviously.
And then how about if you don't want to work and just sit home and smoke dope?
I don't know. I mean,
Should you be able to sit home and smoke
the
dope?
age-old question has always been, what do you do? What do other countries do it for? What do they do? What do other countries do?
I don't think Mexico does anything. I don't know, though. I really have no idea.
But here's what I don't understand. This hatred for billionaires. I mean, it's like there's only 580 of them.
Mornings 5 to 10. During this Valentine's Day weekend.
Do you understand how small that is? 580.
But yet people love the king and queen that get born into that fucking royalty. Explain that.
In England, they're leeches for $2 billion a year, I think, to support that whole family. That guy travels around and everybody kisses his ass. Prince, whatever his name is, Harry. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-7132. Okay, so George, how do you build culture?
Now, I have seen people in your business, and we're talking about building culture. I will get to your calls. I've seen, like, I'm going to talk about Hobby Lobby. People are so nice. Chick-fil-A, people are so nice. I've gone to Home Depot has a pretty good culture. I mean, some of them might not know the inventory in the store, but Walmart, pretty good culture.
It's come a long way, man.
I mean, but then you have service companies. What do you think? George, your guys, and I mean it, they all seem to be the same in their attitude, and they're fun and friendly. And I want you to be really candid. Did when you took it over, was it like that? Were people like that anyway?
Not even close. No, not at all.
How do you, in an interview, how do you choose and know people are going to be a certain way? Do you tell them, this is what we want?
Yeah, we do. So a number of things. I mean, we look at just we ask a lot of qualifying questions in their character, make sure they're a good person. I mean, any business is the people, right? So then we explain our expectations pretty clear, and in our industry, our expectations are much higher than other companies. And you know, so before we even hire somebody, we make sure we're really clear on what we expect from them, but in return, what they're going to get. I mean, our turnover is very
But you know that what I mean is the happy-go-lucky nature, yet they're serious. I don't know how you get that combination where they're really fun but serious.
Yep. So I mean, it comes from a couple things. I mean, so you got to be serious what you're serious about, right? And hold people accountable to a high level, but at the same time make it fun. So at the same time, they really are part of this. I mean, in 2018 we grew 1,000%. They love being part of that. I mean, they're really a part of it.
Yeah.
It's not like, and it's real, right? So,
right.
You know, leadership. You mentioned Hobby Lobby. You know,
yeah.
David Green, the owner of Hobby Lobby, is an amazing guy who really truly cares about his people, and it starts at the top. You know, if you have leaders in the company that truly care about the people in the company and their success and their lives and their family, and you can't fake that.
No.
So, I mean, people see right through it.
I think Starbucks has a good culture.
Yeah, well,
Mark, do you think? I mean, you
Starbucks
don't really
in general does. I mean, you even mentioned Home Depot. Actually, I know Home Depot really well. And I know that comes down to the store manager. You know, when you talk about a big company like that has several stores, it still comes down to the store manager, the general manager of the store, the leader of that store.
Or key people, right.
And what, I've had different stores in different places, and the key thing for me is, look, I mean, it's management versus leadership, right? And I ask every person I hire, do you know the difference? And you'll get all kinds of examples, different answers, and some people will kind of give you more examples that they think with leadership. And the difference really is, as a manager, I can make you do a task because you want to keep your job, it's your, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I can't make you follow me. You get to choose who you follow, and if you
follow the leader,
you come to the conclusion that I really have your best interest and I really care about you.
Yeah.
You have a great opportunity here, and you really like being here.
Yeah.
Then you'll choose to follow that leader, and if you choose that, then every task you do, you'll do to the highest level, not just
because you want to make your boss look good, you want to make the company look good, you want to make money, you want to keep the company going.
You care.
Yeah,
it's all about caring.
I'd like to know if people would be, if you would be kind enough to call me and let me know if you love or hate your job and why, or what your boss could do better. Let me know. I'd like to know. Because I truly believe that culture is everything, and it's something intangible. It's just, and it permeates the entire company. Very seldom will you have one bad store and everyone really, really good. Okay, Charles, what's going on with you, Charles? And we'll get back to George with Fix It 24/7. Of course, if you have any questions on home services, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric drains. Charles, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. You do a great service for
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How does a homeowner know if a lien's been placed on their property?
Well, first, you're supposed to be given notice before they do it. And
by the state?
What's that?
By the state?
No, by the lien holder. It's an intent to lien.
Okay.
They have to give you an intent to lien, or they can't file. Now, some may have done it and you didn't notice, or they may fake it and say they did it and really didn't do it, because I'm not sure what they have to show before they actually file it. But an intent to lien is usually the first one. The second way to do it is to simply do what's called an O&E on your property.
Okay.
And that's you can go to a title company or any kind of real estate person, and they do an O&E, and it's called Ownership and Encumbrance Report. And what they will do is go through it and show anything on that title.
Okay, and then
why do you think why do you think there may have been a lien on your home?
Well, I had some work done on my roof. The price changed after the work was done. We couldn't come to an agreement.
But did you at least pay what you thought you were going to pay in the beginning?
I paid more than that.
Oh, but they still wanted more.
Yeah.
But you didn't withhold all.
No.
Okay.
I met him halfway.
And he said, I want more. How much more did he want?
Another $2,000.
Okay, so where does it stand?
Well, he sent me an invoice, which I ignored, and then he sent me a notice email that if I didn't pay him, he was going to put a lien on. I wrote back and told him that I had made a settlement offer to him. He accepted that settlement by cashing my check. Case closed.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily so. But anyway, I'm not going to get into whether you owe or not.
Right.
But that's how you find out if you have a lien. How long ago was this?
Well, it was a hailstorm in July, and just now, this last couple of weeks, he's been sending me invoice.
Okay. Well, listen, man, I want to ask you something. This has nothing to do with whether you owe him money. But the total, I'm asking raw questions because I'm doing some research. The total raw amount you got, total, every dime, not what you paid out, the total amount of money you got from your insurance company was how much?
$5,000.
That was every penny you got from them, right?
Correct.
And what's every penny you paid out?
$7,500.
How do you, what was your deductible?
$1,000.
Then how did you end up paying $1,500 more?
Because he
But no matter what, you should have had it paid for. Did you upgrade or something? In other words, if he said once he got into it, it's going to be more, there's nothing wrong with that. Many times a roofer starts out or a contractor starts out believing something's going to cost a certain amount. And once they get in the middle of it, they do what's called an auxiliary claim. Now, did they have an auxiliary claim?
No.
Why didn't you let them file one?
I didn't know about it, and he never asked.
Well, what's the name of the roofer?
Pardon me?
What's the name of the roofer?
All City contractor.
Okay, but because if you owe more money, your insurance company will pay it if it's legit. You know, usually we have this trouble only when homeowners want to keep part of the insurance money. If they don't, then there's never a problem, because here's why. You said he started out, he gave you an initial contract estimate of how much? How much?
He said he would take what the insurance company gave me, which was $5,000.
And that's the worst kind of estimate you can get. The worst in the world. Okay? So it literally said on your contract.
No contract. Verbal.
Oh, God. Oh. All right.
We need to just call the roofer. Maybe he is expecting the insurance company to pay. We don't.
What I'm getting at is this. You should write back to your roofer. Not ignore it. And you should tell him. Okay. Did you tell him what I'm going to say?
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You should say, if you are owed more money, if it turned out to be more than you thought, please file, or I will try to file an auxiliary claim.
Okay.
Tell me what the extra cost was. Did he see the insurance estimate?
Yeah, yes, he saw it.
Verbally, he tells you it's going to be whatever the insurance company pays, right?
Correct.
All right. Then what was his excuse for not taking that?
Well, he itemized it, and he...
and he said it turned out to be more.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Especially because it's only $1,500 more. Because
if he does place a lien, do I have an opportunity to contest it?
Yes, but here's the deal. What are you going to contest?
The fact that I already gave him $7,500, he accepted my settlement offer.
Well, how do you know he accepted it?
Because he cashed my check.
That doesn't mean he settled it. That does not mean he settled it.
But there was no contract either way.
Charles, the reason I'm telling you this is because I'd rather give you accurate information than tickling your ears. Whoever told you that the act of cashing your check means a settlement was not telling you accurately. Okay?
Okay.
So you don't have a settlement. If you go to court and you say, well, Your Honor, we settled it, he cashed my check. So what? I mean, under that notion, your mortgage company settles with you every month.
All right.
You know, so it's a payment. Here's what you say. Okay, first of all, you don't even have a contract. You don't even have a contract. Well, so how do we prove what it was going to cost to begin with?
That's true, but he doesn't have a contract
That's right. That's why what you should do is you should take your insurance estimate and ask him to help you. There's nothing wrong with this guy wanting more money if it costs him more. Ask him, say, look, I want to put this behind us. Why don't you help me come up with what was extra so we can file an auxiliary claim?
Okay.
The guy doesn't have to be an enemy. Now, if you were saying, yeah, he doubled the price, that's different.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 J-House. iHeart Radio Station, Brock Kaminsky Morning, Krista Kafer,
all verbal.
But you go through Good Times, okay? You go through Good Times drive-thru. It's late at night. This happened Saturday. It's like 10:30. I just want an ice cream, okay? Haven't had an ice cream forever. So I'm looking at their board.
You know how much carbs in an ice cream?
Just listen. I'm looking at their board, and do I want a crunch spoon bender? Do I want a caramel spoon bender? Or there's one on there for $1.49, and I'm thinking, okay, that's a real small one. Do I want a paw bender? Okay? Follow me so far?
Paw bender is for dogs.
It's for fucking goddamn dogs.
I know.
So I asked the guy, I said, what's a paw bender? Because there's no description. It says paw bender, $1.49. He goes, it's ice cream with biscuits. And I go, well, what kind of biscuits? And I hear the guy fucking laughing behind the thing. And finally he goes, well, it's for dogs. So I fucking leave. At that point, I'm not going to get anything from him. In Parker.
I mean, Sonic?
Good Times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pricks. No matter what I got, I was sure there was going to be dog food in it at this point. If they actually let me order that fucker and I got it,
you know what? I'll tell you this.
I would have killed them.
I didn't like
Revitalized Health is the place to go to optimize your hormones with BioT treatment, which is the implanted pellet. They also do thread lifts, which are little micro facelifts in areas you need it, using some internal thread that eventually dissolves after stimulating your collagen. It's a remarkable process and very, very affordable. Like for several areas in your face, it could be $600 to $800 for the whole thing. Think about that. Revitalized Health. 3 brothers started this clinic out at 470 and Ken Carl with age-defying treatments like BioT, thread lifts. They also do, of course, things like Juvederm and Botox and microneedling to stimulate collagen. 720-361-2302. But I'm going to give you a website you'll remember, thehormonebros.com, because they do hormones and more. Thehormonebros.com.
Trade wars in an absolutely crazy 12 months on Wall Street. It's certainly.
I think that, Grant, I think that other one was supposed to be a 30. I'm checking on that.
You're correct. You're correct.
Okay, so does that screw us up for that break, though? We come back
because we did it right. Listen, when you say you looked it up, why isn't it on the log?
I just emailed Sydney and asked her to put it on the log.
She should put all of them on the log.
I totally agree. Most of them are there. Some of them aren't. I don't understand why.
That is
so
weird.
Hopefully she puts them there.
44. Mention my name.
So, but we still rejoin correctly.
Complimentary for you. This is a paid advertisement.
Correct. It was still on time. I timed it out to 60.
Insurance and annuities. Insurance licensed in Colorado. Centeno Schultz.
I had to tell her while you were gone, too. Shannon couldn't find any 60-30 anything. Not one.
Practitioner. You're not going to see a physician's assistant.
How do they assume? Here's where I need help. Why do they assume we would fucking know? The only reason I knew that one is I booked it. Why would we know any other one? Like Sheridan. How would we know? I don't understand. How does anybody know? How would Ross know? I thought I did Thursday, but yes, I will. I don't understand why people think we would know that. Why would you know?
Ross does one for each.
My brother tell me all about it.
At the very end, and we hope there it's going to be a very good, happy ending. I'm serious. I don't know if he means if he's trying to be funny there.
Surgery today.
I don't know.
Accidentally say that.
You said it.
You think
they'll allow?
I don't think so, kid, man.
They almost want their crimes to.
In fact, I should go ask him and see what he knows. What
I already know. I don't want to say it on air.
Okay.
That's a whole nother.
Here we are.
It didn't look good. I didn't dig in much deeper, though.
Everybody makes mistakes. Gotta be one.
But this is okay.
Listen and follow on the
I went out to the Art of Granite, and I met Mitch. Came to America with $300 in his pocket. He starts working in granite and then decides to have his own place. Art of Granite supplies premier designer countertops and cabinets. A joint importer of stone, granite, and quartz and other natural stone. He designs your countertops, and then you buy only enough granite.
If you would just stay on the meds, man, you'd be fine.
Or 2 or 3, and then he makes it beautiful with artistic edges, backdrops, and they also do, of course, other stones. They never mark up the stone ever. Visit their showroom in Golden.
What do you think it is? People just, he doesn't like anybody. They don't like feeling normal, because none of us know. I don't know what that's like being on or off a meds.
He just refuses to acknowledge that.
He
must. You thought BioT might help him?
That's true, but he's sick. He's sick.
Oh, it's okay. So you don't think it's just like a hormone?
He'd have more energy. It's probably not.
I mean, testosterone doesn't make you crazy or not.
Don't you? Okay.
No, but it could make you more crazy.
Yeah. And look
at much. It could make you more aggressive.
Look at people with premenopause and stuff.
I don't think, yeah, but not if it's low.
No. I know.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's go right to the phones, okay? Emmett, what's happening with you? Hello, Emmett.
Yeah, hello, Tom.
What's going on with you? You called us with a problem. Let's talk about that, Suzanne.
So, Tom, last week Emmett called because he hired an attorney to fight some VA disability stuff, and then he called us because the attorney withdrew from the case but didn't withdraw his fees. And so that was the problem we ran into.
But why did he withdraw and still wanted to charge?
So I have the answer to that,
What
Tom.
is that?
I learned a lot last week. So when a veteran comes in with a case where they're fighting for, I guess, a higher rating or a different rating than what they have through the VA, they can hire an attorney, but those attorneys are only allowed, the VA mandates their fees. They are only allowed to work on contingency, Tom. So what happens a lot of times is they work years and years on these cases. There's cases for pennies.
Yeah.
And then in the 11th hour, he did not say, he would not specifically talk to me about Emmett, but this is what he alluded. In the 11th hour, a lot of times when there's a judgment or a decision pending, the client then fires him so that they don't have to pay the fees. And they can't collect on the fees. So now Emmett is trying to get a different attorney who then logs into the VA portal, sees that there's already been an attorney working on this case for years and years, hesitates coming in to split those fees. Now this is just what he alluded happened with Emmett. So that's why he did not withdraw his fees from the case.
Because he worked on it for years and years.
For years and years, right.
How many years, Emmett?
4 years.
Okay, so with 4 years, are you close to a settlement?
No, he just, out of the blue, I talked to him one day, and he said that he was going to send me to this clinic, and next thing I know, I didn't hear anything about the clinic or anything, and then I get this letter from him. I didn't hire another
The
attorney,
letter that he
nor did
withdrew.
I fire
Okay,
him.
so Suzanne, he brings up a good point. Even if the guy did work for years and years, if it's not finished, what does he do? What does he do?
We probably need to get permission to talk to the attorney with Emmett on.
That's for specific questions on Emmett.
I mean,
Emmett is going to have to call and give permission.
All Emmett wants is to finish the case up, and the guy quit. Now, Emmett, you might be difficult to work with. He may say, look, it's impossible. The guy is impossible. I can't work with him. I don't know. But I don't think he should quit and not let another attorney come on, because then I know the guy's probably
Tom, just so you know, any attorney can take this case. The problem is when they look at the history on the case, they say, whoa, wait a second here. There's been a lot of attorneys on this case, or gee, there's been one that's been working for years. It's just different scenarios.
Only him. He's the only one.
Suzanne is saying if somebody looks at it and sees that there's been an attorney on it for years, whether it just doesn't look good, but did the guy say why he quit?
Out of the blue, because
Emmett, I know that. I'm asking Suzanne. Suzanne, did he mention why he quit?
No, but if Emmett gives him permission, I will get more specifics.
Emmett, listen, man, I don't know how close or far you are from a settlement. What disability do you already have?
What do you mean by
what percentage? Do you have a percentage of disability?
Yeah, I have a percentage. I have a 30%.
And you were going for what?
I don't know what it would end up being.
What were you trying to get? Do you know or not?
Well, before what they had me at was 60. Then they reduced it, so they even went back to 60.
Why did they go from 60 to 30?
That's what I needed the attorney to find out, and trying to fight with the VA since 2004.
You know what, man? I'll bet you. You know what? Why can't we just have, like, Daphne call and get on their case just to find out general information? Veterans will talk to us if we get permission. We're not talking about specific medical stuff. We just want to know, why did they go, how long ago, about 5 years ago, from 60 to 30?
Yeah.
And then you hired this attorney.
Yep, then I get this attorney, and he's supposed to help me because also my back is at question. And all he needed to do was have any doctor say it's his medical opinion that the feet are affected.
Yeah, but there must be different. That's something. Hold on. Here's what we need. We need Emmett's written permission to talk to VA and talk to his attorney. Let's just find out.
I wonder how that works. He just made a comment. He said, I just need any doctor. Well, for example, these marijuana doctors pull up and write you a prescription for whatever. Why can't he get a letter from one of them for $50?
Actually, Emmett, are you sure any doctor will do?
I've had 3 doctors tell me this, but the Kaiser doctor said they do not get involved in disabilities.
Well, many don't. You know why? Because they don't want to go and they don't want to testify. Jonathan, what's happening? This sounds serious. Jonathan?
Yes.
What's going on?
So,
We just moved into a trailer. We bought the trailer and we put it on the land. We've been here.
On your own land?
Yes. No, actually, I'm sorry, inside of a trailer park.
Okay. So what's going on now, sir?
So we've been living here almost 2 months now.
Is it new or used, sir?
It's used.
How used?
I want to say 19. I think it's a 99. I think I'm not sure.
I'm curious because we just had a question. Did you buy it already on the lot or have it moved there?
No, we bought it and we moved it on the lot.
Did you move it on your own or was that part of the sale?
No, we moved it on our own.
How much was the trailer?
$5,000.
The reason we asked is a woman had one in the 70s and wanted to know what it was worth, and she was thinking it was worth 12 to 15 grand, but you got this for $5,000. Was it in pretty good condition? Jonathan?
Hello? Yes, I have bad signal over here.
It's okay. If we get disconnected, does Suzanne have your number?
I don't think so.
Hold on a second, just to get that. Suzanne, get his number in case we get disconnected. I'll get right back to him. Okay, and I'll go to Barry. Barry?
Yes.
What's going on, man?
I had a question for you.
Yes, sir.
My father had bought a burial plot.
Yes.
In 2016.
Okay.
And I just found out yesterday that from my cousin that the plot was never paid for. He had deeded it back to the cemetery to resell it for him, and they never sent him a check.
When did he originally buy it?
2016.
Oh, and that's what you said. Okay, I'm sorry. When did he deed it back?
That same year, actually.
Did he pay? Did he pay cash, or how much did he pay for it?
He paid cash for it.
How much?
And they $2,000 and some dollars. Okay.
About $2,000. Okay.
And so they told me.
So they took it back, and you're saying he got no money for it at all. Is he still alive?
No, he passed away last year. But my question is, since it was 2 years after he had deeded it back to him, and they had a check, and they gave me this speech about one manager left the company and then another manager.
So they acknowledge that he has never been paid.
Exactly.
All right, hold on then. We'll come back to you and Jonathan coming right up.
Southbound I-25, your county line. 1 minute until this R60 stop. Pull on that stretch. There's some debris on the highway earlier, flat tires. They got the debris picked up, so traffic flow is back up to speed, but there's the right lane and right corner of blocks that just travel.
This woman is anti-Jew, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I love talking about growth. That's good. I was just.
So where's she, Michigan, right?
Like we got 600,000 during the time because people doing that. I know you did.
Oh,
great.
the area
Through 1,000% or whatever.
You have to
That's good stuff. I just like we're talking about fucking guaranteed income, right? What is the?
There's another one.
Say that again.
There's another one.
Yeah.
She's for female genital mutilation.
How can you be for that?
Got it.
Yes.
Joseph A. Lazara. Remember the name. Put it down for a time in need, and I hope you never need it, but you may have to give it to a friend. Joe Lazara does criminal defense. DUIs fall into that category. That's right, crime. It's also a motor vehicle offense. Both. Two separate things go on. That's why you need someone to get through the system. Whether you're falsely accused, whether you are guilty and you just want to plead and get through it, you need someone to help you through the system. I say that over and over. In fact, you should never represent yourself on any criminal matter whatsoever, whether it's falsely accused or not. Joe Lazara can help. He has flat rate pricing, and he helps all Martino listeners with special discounts of up to $500 for larger cases. 303-429-6200. You can find LazaraLegal.com on the internet. Lazara, 2 Z's and 1 R. Lazzara. LazaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200.
You mean in Britain?
No.
You got to show me that. I'm going to start calling you Dad.
No,
And if you want,
what's her name again?
like you could even ask me, you could even bring that 1,000% growth up again and say, why is that? And because the truth is, I mean, so many more people use
one
them.
other thing.
I mean, and so many more people have been telling the word spreads and people are telling them it would stop it with people about us based on which is true.
I don't know. He blocks it.
The number of clients that we used was even
I'm saying
way more than
there was a bill that was going to block it, and he blocked that.
Where did Jonathan go?
Do you owe back taxes? Been years since you filed a tax audit? Get help from my friends at Larson Tax Relief. Shed your winter blues. Warm up with Ron.
Let me see if I have the right number.
A team of licensed tax experts. They'll go between you and the
IRS.
Way better than you can do.
People are so
Larson Tax Relief are the experts I endorse on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Sometimes they block it. It's just it's a bad written.
It said it was procedural. And in that case, it just needs to be rewritten. But why would they even make a story about it? Because that's fake news.
Oh, except for Minnesota. I'm sorry.
Don't waste another
What's her name,
with
though?
anxiety, worry, and shuddering when the mail.
Oh. Is she a congresswoman or what?
Yeah. Well, I say congresswoman. She's a representative.
Tax or online at LarsonTaxRelief.com.
Looking for ways to save
From
on
where?
your Medicare plan? Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many plans nationwide, which could mean lower copays for you. So bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens pharmacy today to start saving. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Walgreens participates as a preferred network pharmacy with United
Where
Healthcare,
is it?
Cigna HealthSpring, and Express Scripts Medicare.
Right.
For a complete list of available plans, please contact
No,
your
you
Medicare
can.
agent.
Yeah, it's too short a notice. Or did they give you notice the article?
Well, I think it was under the Chelsea one.
I had to go to the spring.
No, the Chelsea Clinton one was the
Right, I know, but I thought they wrote more about her that she was
Oh,
also.
I see what you're
Straighten
saying.
your teeth, widen your palate, take care of jaw alignment, help you with
Yeah, it says
TMJ,
once
stop
again,
sleep
basically.
apnea with 2 years or less, way cheaper than getting a mouthful of veneers. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
If you're worried about your cholesterol, hear how others are taking charge with garlic.
My doctor said my cholesterol was borderline, but
These
I've been
people.
taking garlic, and it worked.
I've been taking garlic for years.
My pharmacist recommended garlic. He said there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol.
I take garlic every day.
so
No
bad.
problem. Lots of people like you are
Whoa!
taking garlic
Whoa!
to maintain a healthy cholesterol. Garlic is cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
In 2012, she said Israel has hypnotized the world.
Want a great deal on windows, siding, or doors? Then name your deal. That's right. Do you want half off, maybe 2-for-1 windows? Just ask. How about a 40% discount on your whole house makeover project? Yes, ask. A one-of-a-kind sale, never before done. K&H Home Solutions is daring you to name your deal. Is there a catch? Yes. If they're crazy busy, they might counter-offer. If they're slow, you may get a deal of a lifetime. The worst that can happen is nothing.
So she comes from, so she's Somali.
Email now. My
They're
deal at
in Minneapolis.
khwindows.com. My deal at khwindows.com.
Why they all?
But you know what? That is why our country is our country, man. You send a representative. If most of the population is that, it makes sense that she's there.
You have those singers coming in for Valentine's. Did you talk to them?
No.
Remember, I emailed you that they canceled for the first time, remember? And I said I'm not going to do any guest
Okay, fine. I wonder why they canceled.
One of the guys had to be out of town for something.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, but I do have Joe Keano coming in.
Fun.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Tackle the liberal left tomorrow morning, 5 to 10.
I'll be on the fun and jury duty, guys. Just you know.
Great. We have no lover, no singing.
You sing, Tom.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Barry, your dad bought a cemetery plot in 2016, and he said he wanted to sell it back to him or have them sell it. He paid $2,000 for it, deeded it back to them. So, the very least, he should get his money back if he deeded it back to them. They acknowledge it. So, where's the check?
So basically, what they're telling me is that there's like 70. They give you 70% of the value of the plot.
Why?
I don't know. They didn't tell me why. They said that's just their policy.
Well, let's put it this way.
Why wouldn't they get a commission or something?
Well, let's put it this way. They didn't have to do anything. But the fact that they took it back should have been negotiated with your dad. Did he have an agreement of any kind with them?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't see the paperwork. I just found out about this today.
But here's the Barry, let's just get right to it. It doesn't matter when you found out. None of that matters. Here's what matters. Your dad owned it and deeded it back. Somehow they talked about it because he deeded it back. They didn't hold a gun to his head. Now, I would say that if you don't think that's fair, then they should at least be willing to just put it back in the estate's name. I mean, after all, they have to acknowledge
Yeah, they're doing that, but my question was because my cousin
was
after me. My cousin was saying, well, they kept that money for 2 years. They should pay more than just the $1,700. They said it's $1,700.
Hold on, Barry.
Yes.
They can pay whatever they want. They can say we're only paying 50% because there's nothing to prove otherwise. But what I'm saying is this: that instead of that, you can get the plot back. Just say, look, my dad deeded this away.
It's too late. Somebody's buried there.
Well, then that sucks. So they're forcing. No. This is. Do they have another plot? Because here's why, Barry. The substance of the transaction is it never took place. He gave them the lot back and never got anything in return. I don't think you have to accept just anything. I think they have to make you whole again, which would be a price of your choice or the plot. But if you can't come to an agreement of price, here's what I would do. I'd sue him in small claims court. I'd sue him. I'd have the estate sue for the $2,000, and it's very simple. If there's a policy, prove that your dad signed it. They took the lot from your dad, and now they could be very bold and say, well, you know what? He gave it back to us. And he said he was going to give it to us as a gift. You wouldn't have anything to prove otherwise.
No. The paperwork that they said that they have is that they were supposed to find someone to buy the plot, which that ended up happening. But in the course of
hold on, they say they have an agreement. Okay, in that agreement, how much was your dad supposed to get?
That's what they're telling me. 70% of what he originally paid for.
If that's what your dad agreed to, then it inures upon the estate.
Okay.
If that's what he agreed to, but make him show you.
Yeah.
If they show you that agreement, Barry, there's really not much you can. I mean, it's not worth arguing over.
My cousin's question is that they held this money for 2 years, and
so what? So money for 2 years at the way interest rates are. You're not seriously thinking it's worth a lot. I mean, 2 years.
No. I just
So let's just say this. Let's say 2,000. Value, or no, 1,700. If your dad, let's assume your dad agreed to 1,700 times, I would say a CD, 1.5% if you're lucky, equals what? Hardly anything. I mean, really, 2,000 or 1,700 times. You're talking pennies. It's not even worth getting. I don't even know why anyone would care. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger, as they say. But I would make them prove, Barry, that your dad agreed to 70%. Otherwise, I don't see why he shouldn't get the full $2,000 back. Okay, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show with Fix It 24/7, including a special and more.
Icon Eye Care is your hometown relationship partner of the 1.5%. Martino. Icon Eye Care has done more than a $25 procedures in Colorado.
So this is interesting. So I hope it's okay, Tom. We're helping a guy that couldn't come on the air, and this is why. He has been charged with a cybercrime and is not allowed to go on any sort of social media, internet, not allowed to talk about it, anything. So he bought concert tickets to Bob Seger for next week, and they were delivered to Flash Seats. But the email he used was killed because of his charges. So Flash Seats won't talk to him about giving him his seats, and he's not allowed to call them.
Why can't he call him on a phone?
I don't know. He's like, he's like, I'm not allowed to talk to anybody about my case and to explain nothing. It's just like, it's just
he can
really
call
crazy.
and say he doesn't have the email address anymore. I mean, come on. The guy paid for tickets, and
I'll tell Daft to tell him that. Then it's like you're not even allowed to call him.
Is this one of Daphne's?
No, he called me, and after hearing him, I was like, well, we need to get you on the air. He says, I'm not allowed to talk about it on the air. But I never thought of that. If you have your seats delivered to Flash Seats, they could maybe lock them up. I don't know. Anyway. But I guess you bring up a good point. Why can't he just call them?
Right. Okay, so
Oh, maybe it was because there was no phone number to use and you have to email them to get a hold of
she's
them.
not actually
Maybe that's why, with Flash Seats.
So he's not allowed to have an email.
Not allowed to have an email, not allowed to have a computer, it's not allowed to go on the internet.
You know what? I don't believe it because that's non-constitutional. I don't believe it. You cannot...
If you're up on charges for a cybercrime?
You cannot prevent someone from basic communication. Come on. I want to see proof of that. Come on. That you're not allowed to have a cell phone, you're not allowed to have an email address, you're not allowed to use it. Come on. I mean, I can see where you can't have a website, you can't have an email for...
This is a good question for Joe, probably. Lazare. I wonder if he would know.
Well, first of all, is he convicted?
No. Nope.
This guy's going to miss a lot of...
And I wonder
if
he's up on charges. He just said a
said that she was
cybercrime.
against making it worse.
You know what? If he talks to us confidential, I think he's full of shit.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Honest to God, it sounds like he's full of
I'll
shit.
tell
Who knows?
So I guess when I read the thing, it didn't say...
Making it a felony.
Yeah.
Making what a felony?
Yeah, so she's good on it.
No, she voted against that.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Why? Why was she, does it go on to say
Well,
why?
it said, well,
Did you find anything about landmark Roger, guys, or you didn't find it? You didn't look at it? You're going to look at it?
One more thing that should not be singled out by a new law, and that parents should be charged under the existing law. Okay. So I was reading on a thing.
That doesn't make sense. Why would they single it out? That is bizarre. You're not allowed to do that anyhow.
Not allowed to do what?
Female...
What is it? Genital mutilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
This particular woman...
originally voted against making it a felony for the...
But she said the reason she voted against it is there's already laws that cover that. Why single out that one thing? You're not allowed to mutilate your child. I mean, you simply can't.
Well,
so why create their own law?
Well, because... Okay. And because
I mean, you see
I know what she's really saying, why she really did it, and she's not admitting that, because it discriminates against a very specific ethnic group.
Yeah. But I mean,
who routinely do that.
Yeah, I know they do.
To their girls.
Yeah, which is fucking disgusting.
Yes. And she didn't want to say that.
Have you been listening to this radio station?
So that's why she did it. She voted against it because she didn't want to discriminate.
Those sisters that committed suicide not too long ago in New York, man. Their dad was a taxi driver, and he didn't want them doing whatever, some bullshit. And they couldn't handle it.
No, they were going to send her back to Saudi Arabia.
That's right. They were going to send her back to Saudi
Arabia. They would tie themselves together and drown themselves, right?
Oh my God!
Because the father threatened to send them back.
Saudi Arabia.
But there was another one where the father was a cab driver as well and shot him in the fucking face in his own cab and dumped the body.
Why did he kill his daughter?
Because she ran away because she didn't want to do whatever, you know, that religion makes you do. I don't remember.
What was that called? Something killing. What do they call it?
Honor killing.
Honor killing.
Well, listen. Wait. He could have done it when she's a day old. Why not?
Well, not in New York.
It was the 100th trimester.
Yeah, I know, the 4th trimester. Right?
I mean, come on. Just let the mom do it. Say it's her choice.
Here it is. It was a New York City cabbie, Pakistani. If our daughter will not come back to our home, we will kill all 5 of you.
Was it Babu?
I don't know why I didn't have that on my list.
That damn Babu. No wonder they sent him back.
I mean, I skipped it. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ can get you straight, beautiful teeth in 2 years for a fraction of the cost of cosmetic dentistry. Cosmetic dentistry is quicker, you know, maybe a month with healing and all that, but we're talking about massive expense. $50,000 and $60,000 for a mouth, $25,000 or $30,000 just for the front teeth. Well, guess what? Dr. Kent Lawson has pioneered these mouthpieces that widen adults' palates. They haven't been fused, and straighten teeth naturally. Then he uses Invisalign braces, the whole thing, 2 years and a fraction of the cost, just a couple grand, compared to 50 or 60. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100. That's Aurora Orthodontics NTMJ. I don't care, there's 2 hours.
And you don't want to miss it. Shop fresh spring looks and save 40% on the hottest furniture trends from your favorite designers, such as
I don't know. Taming a snake?
No, he's smoking. No, I think he's...
Just as sad when you talk about...
Oh, it's horrible. This guy, he killed both of his daughters. I was wrong. There's 2 of them. 17 and 18.
He killed him in the cab?
Yeah, blew their fucking heads off.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. The owner, Buddy Mitchell. I know Buddy. I know Simply Floors. I know the company.
You think that's okay?
Mark, I don't know what to do with this.
With who?
Simply Floors. I mean, I can do a presentation just to get it on, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to do Comcast or anything with it.
Yeah, I wanted some 15s and 30s.
Okay, I'll do that. I want
just a couple of them.
Just with Jen. We have some really good stuff. And then I'll do a little story for him for his site.
Have you ever wanted to refinance your mortgage but didn't want to start a new 30-year loan all over again? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing, and let me tell you, they can help.
So Pocahontas is not really Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
She has less...
Pocahontas. Oh.
She has less...
She has less than me.
Yeah, she has less than, like, anybody. It's kind of ironic.
But she identifies as
Well, yeah. She said that earlier because of family history.
Who was the woman that...
She was told that.
Who was the head of the AANCP that said she was black, but she was a white woman?
Double N. I don't think she was head of it, but she worked for him.
Well, she was way the fuck up there.
Double N? NAA.
NAACP. NAACP.
Yeah. No,
remember that?
Yeah.
And on all of her college applications.
And she dyed her hair and
skinned it up and
did tan.
The whole bit. Yeah. Seriously, isn't that fucking outrageous? She got discounts.
And her folks
somewhere in Obama's background, he applied as a foreign exchange student.
Oh,
why else would his college be sealed? Why?
I absolutely, totally, 100% agree with you.
I'm not saying he was.
No, but that's just what he put down.
Right, so he could get some extra money and stuff, I'm sure.
And that would have put a lot of fuel on the fire back when.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. This hour brought to you by GenesisTotalExteriors.com. And in a time where contractors are taking the money and running, like Landmark Garages and others, we get complaints every day. You can trust Genesis. Mark Szymanski is a good guy, and this show is all about finding good guys, warning you about bad guys, and just everything in between. So give us a call, 303-713-TALK. Genesis, by the way, does everything from the roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, fences, decks, bathrooms, basements. 303-679-8509. Genesis. On my referral list, too, at referralist.com. George Donaldson's with us, Fix It 24/7. We talked about building culture and how to hire people. And, you know, really, I think sometimes you just have to do it enough to know. And I think when people see companies, they know what they're getting into. I think people know if they're a fit or not, too. I think people can edit themselves. So every company depends on word of mouth, I think. That's how companies grow. I want to know, as far as pricing, we always hear about value and pricing. And you said, Tom, we're not going to be the cheapest, but we're definitely not going to be the most expensive. Well, this is something a lot of people don't like talking about. How do you price? I don't mean you. I mean your theory, your philosophy on pricing. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. What's the philosophy?
The philosophy, which it should be with any companies, we just look at all of our overhead, all of our costs, and we're very efficient. I mean, we're
so do you take all that and then simply aggregate it by the hour?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And come up
by
with
the job.
By
the job, depending on how long that job should take. You know what our costs are, and again, we're very efficient. We negotiate our prices way down. So like you talked about earlier, everybody has markup, but
right.
Our initial buy, I can promise you, is lower than any of my competitors' buy.
You mean as far as buying stuff?
Buying
Why?
equipment material.
Why?
Because I've just experienced in negotiating with these supply houses. I mean, I've even sold a company twice to a national company, and both times they have they're the biggest in the world at what I do, and they were pretty irritated that
they couldn't.
My prices were negotiated lower than theirs.
So when you buy from suppliers, you try to get the lowest prices. Obviously, everyone does,
yeah,
right?
I know how to negotiate with them to get it. Yeah.
Okay, so another thing I want to know. What is the #1 call nowadays? Because it's winter, so is it furnace?
Right now it's furnace, yeah.
What about plumbing? No.
Yeah.
Is there a busy plumbing season?
There can be, so frozen pipes right now, because it's gotten so cold. But generally speaking, plumbing and electric are pretty consistent.
Plumbing and electric are just like service calls throughout the year.
Throughout the year.
Heating, of course, lives or dies by cold weather.
Well, I mean, so it depends on the consumer. I mean, so in the off-season, the ones that actually maintain their system, and again, we're ones who actually maintain it properly and truly prevent it from breaking down. Do you actually have people calling you on the off-season to maintain a furnace? Oh, a lot of them.
Then they're wise. Do you ever have them purchasing one in the middle of the summer?
Absolutely.
A furnace.
What's funny is just this week we've gotten people looking into adding AC, which is smart because you're gonna.
Will you save truly?
Yeah, for sure you will. If you add AC right now in the wintertime, with us you will at least. I
now speaking of heat, Jonathan is back. He's going to talk about heat in his trailer. We had a trouble connecting, but let's get back. You bought this trailer used in 1999 for $5,000. You have it set up in a park. What's going on, Jonathan?
Well, we've been living here a couple months now. We had to remodel the trailer.
Okay.
And actually, for your correction, the trailer is a 1980, and we bought it back in September of last year.
Okay.
So we had to remodel it, and we moved it on the park around December when it was done and finished.
Okay.
And it's been sitting there ever since.
All right.
But to move into the park, we have to prep the ground. The trailer, the owners of the park did not prep the ground. So
what do you mean by prepping the ground?
Prepare for a trailer to be moved on.
Like what?
Like electricity.
You got to bring all the utilities to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And so we've been living there since the 1st of January without heat or gas.
Oh, so they have not put the utilities in yet?
Correct.
Okay,
and,
why? I mean, is it because of weather and freeze, or is it because, they plan on doing it, right?
Well, they say, but they've been trying to...
Here's what I want to ask you, Jonathan, seriously.
Yeah.
Do you believe they are never going to put services there and they have a gotcha? Do you believe they intend to put services there? Which one?
I believe they intend to put services there.
But they're dragging their feet. Why?
They don't have the manpower to go out and do what's needed to be done on our lot.
So they need to extend gas to your lot, and what else?
Heat.
Gas is heat. What else? Gas and electric?
No, we have electric hooked up in there. We just need gas.
Okay. What about sewer?
Yes. We're going to be running, we're going to be, having the sewer hooked up, but that's not there either.
So what do you do now for the... You're not actually living in it then, right? Or are you?
Yes, we are living in it.
All right. Then how do you use the bathrooms without sewer hookup?
No, we have that hooked up. My in-laws actually hooked that up for us, and I had an electrician come out to do the electrical work, but we don't have gas.
Okay. Now, the gas requires an extension, right? In other words, is the gas line in, but you're not connected, or does it have to be run to the lot?
It has to be ran to the lot.
Okay. They can't do that in the winter.
Correct.
But that's not their fault, Jonathan.
Well, they say they can't connect everything. There's been several days where we've had nice weather out.
George, do you guys do gas lines as part of your plumbing division?
Yeah, we do.
Can you do it in the winter, long runs like this, or not?
Yeah, I
thought you had to go down 6 or 8 feet, and I thought you would be frozen.
There's certain days you probably can't, but
we don't get the deep freezes. Where is this located, Jonathan?
Colorado Springs area.
Okay, so Jonathan, it all comes down to gas. What is their excuse? What do they say about it?
They can't locate the proper gas line to hook up to our trailer.
So they can't find their main?
Correct, from what they're saying. And also, they said they don't have the manpower, so we offered to dig the trench and do everything.
But they say they can't find it. Maybe they don't have tracer wire or something. Usually they put tracer wire along with pipe in order to find it. Is it that they don't have manpower, or is it that they can't find it? Which one?
Well, I heard both stories from them. One, they don't have the manpower to do it, and also they can't.
Are they charging you full rent?
Yes, we've been paying lot rent.
Okay. Well, gas is extra anyway, right? So you're not being charged for gas, right?
No, we're not.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, technically, it's a breach of contract. I mean, if you have a lease that says you're supplied gas, it is a breach of contract. But let me tell you what's involved. Okay, bottom line is this. You can't live there. You have to move your trailer, and you go after them for damages, for all of the expenses, for bringing it there and setting it up. Really, I mean, that's what's involved if they can't get you heat. So how far is this going to go? Do you believe they're going to have it? What are you doing in the meantime? You using bottles or what?
No, we're using space heaters to heat the trailer at the moment.
That's ridiculous. Is there any kind of a temporary line that can be tapped into at all?
We are unsure. They brought the utilities out here and everything, but still to this day they don't have any trenches dug. So we actually dug a trench for them where they said they couldn't do it.
You already did? Wait. You already did it?
We did it, not letting them know that we were going to do it, but then we told them that, okay, we'll do it if you guys don't have the manpower to do it. But in exchange, we want free rent for doing all the labor that you guys were supposed to do.
Well, that's reasonable, but did they agree to that?
We've agreed to pay half the rent.
No, I mean, did they agree to credit you some of that?
No, not at the moment. We have nothing in agreements.
This is crazy. Do you have a trench built right now?
No, we did it by hand.
Well, is it there still? Is it open or is it closed?
It was open, but they told us that was the wrong spot, so we buried it back up.
Oh, my God. That was all for nothing.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Look, let me just have Deputy Dan call management and see. I mean, really, Jonathan, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, really, you can only do, this is not like, I don't think this is an intentional ripoff. I just think this is just a screwed up place. And how far do you want to take it? Like, let's just say, bottom line, you're not going to get gas for 3 or 4 months. Are you prepared to move?
We are, but...
Then maybe you should. I'm serious, Jonathan. It's not a good omen that these people can't even get you gas, and you have no idea. And I think you would have them on breach of contract if you went after them. I mean, are they willing to let you leave? I mean, are they willing to let you out? Where does it stand?
Well, for the moment, we had to move here at the moment, and, this is what we found, so we expected to have everything.
Right, but you don't, so there's no sense going there. I mean, you can't make someone do something they don't want to do. So do you have another place to go?
Currently, we have not looked. But,
okay, are you willing to? Do you want to? What do you want?
No, we don't want to move.
All right, hold on. Deputy Dan, can you just see? I mean, this just sounds so crazy. Just call this park and ask him straight up, when is this guy going to get gas? I mean, they don't even have gas. I mean, do they think they owe him anything? They're in breach of contract. Do you have a written lease right this minute? Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
And in that lease, does it say they will provide gas hookups?
Well, actually, it's not a lease. It's just the park requirements that we have to sign. Yes, I guess you can say that's a lease.
Yes.
But it is a requirement that everybody has gas and heat.
Does it say that they provide the gas hookup?
I would have to go back and read.
Would you send us a copy?
Yes, I can.
All right, hold on. Let's at least make some calls for this guy. I mean, the poor guy just wants gas, and it sounds like they're not giving him a definitive answer. Even if they said, look, give us 90 days. At least you have an answer. For God's sakes, why can't people communicate?
Sponsored by Farmers Insurance.
Poor guy. Dan, just hold him to it and say, God damn it, the guy needs gas. You have a trailer park. When the frick is he going to have gas? I mean, it's a simple question.
Earlier crash went down 270 at Fast Gas. That's been cleared out of the way. All that debris southbound I-25 to county line.
I don't know why you could do
that. Back up to speed on that stretch, so good news.
Yeah.
Depends how long of a run.
I've always heard it was hard in the winter.
The ground's harder if it's frozen. I mean, but
obviously,
I mean, like,
it can be
you know,
20 seconds.
like right now it's warm enough during the day. I mean,
we've got 2 clouds and 38.
You can't build up a pad, I'll tell you that, in the winter. Because when that little bit of the ground unfreezes, man, you got to repack it. Know what I'm saying?
All right, we got it. Coming up. K&H Home Solutions does windows, siding, doors. Of course, they also do roofing and gutters. But right now, I want to talk about windows, siding, and doors. Name your own deal. Just pitching something. 2 for 1 for windows. Maybe even 3 for 1. Or how about this? I'm going to buy all of my siding and windows, and I want doors thrown in free. Make your own deal. Email it to them. Worst case scenario, they don't do it. Best case scenario, they take you up on it. Or maybe they make a counter offer. Here's the email address. Please try it out and let me know what happens. Email them your deal, okay? Write it down and email it to this. mydeal@khwindows.com. mydeal@khwindows.com. mydeal@khwindows.com, or just go to their website, make your own appointment, and see what you can do. khwindows.com.
Here's what our payroll customer Laura thinks about us.
Patriot Software and their
If I had my kids full time, I'd be a fucking basket case.
They handle the details of payroll.
I just take them extra days and I go, I'm exhausted.
Exceptional customer service to our own clients. Patriot's payroll is affordable, easy to use, and it keeps us organized. They're receptive to their customers and strive to demonstrate that each day. Without a doubt, we will be using their payroll services for many years to come. Thank you, Patriot Software. 5 stars.
Go to patriotsoftware.com to get your payroll pricing for up to 100 employees. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
You know what? This Chase message just kills me every time I get it. What is it? Okay, I get a message from Chase Bank, right? Online? Yeah. And it says, we have sent an important communication in your secure message.
No, these are true. I get those.
Hold on, no, but listen. To Chase Online.
Yep.
You can sign in and review the communication.
That's right.
Here's what the subject of the communication is. Make sure your email address is correct.
Yeah.
They emailed that to me. Now think about it.
I know.
They emailed me something saying, we have sent an online secure message to your message center. Go online and check it because we want to know if your email is correct. They emailed that to me.
I understand, but if you don't respond, then clearly it's not the right email.
They don't ask me to respond. Why? They just say to go on and check it.
But if you go on and check it, if you don't go check it though, then you
How
never
will
see
they
that.
know if I checked it or not? That's what I'm getting at. How will they know? What if it's correct? I go on, I don't do anything. They'll never know. What I don't understand is, why do you email someone saying, we wonder if we have your email correct? That's what they're saying. They're emailing me, asking me, do we have your correct email? Let us know.
This is Madison Reed. I'm Amy Eric, founder of Madison Reed.
I'm not saying it's fake, but I don't understand it.
I've got those.
It's ammonia-free and delivered.
They don't say go on and tell us. Don't go on and click OK. Go on and verify. They don't say that either.
This is it. This is Madison.
It is real though.
When I had Chase, I used to get those all the time.
So I go online and look at my email address, and it's correct. There's nothing to.
I wouldn't do it.
There's nowhere to verify.
The only time I go through all that shit is when they sent me an actual email I was waiting for.
What did they say, Dan?
They didn't answer. He said, and I asked Jonathan, and he says he'll probably at lunch. So I didn't even leave a message. I'll call him.
But it's making my teeth hurt.
What, the gas?
That he can't just, the poor guy just can't get an answer for his heat.
Maybe they should just set him up with a propane tank.
Well, so then you got to change your jets out. Like,
oh, yeah, I'm going to give up caffeine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Starting tomorrow.
Starting now.
What do we bet? What do we bet?
I gave up Coke Zero.
No, you didn't. You had one Friday.
I gave it up though. I don't have Coke Zero on a daily basis.
I gave it up.
I gave it up, but I had one Friday.
No,
he gave it up, but he had one Friday.
What I'm talking about is I gave it up as a regular. I used to every single day have
He's 2 days strong.
3 or 4 of them every day.
So you didn't give up. You
Shannon brought it in and said, "Here, have one."
You're right. He cut down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Deputy Dan is making a phone call to that trailer park with no gas to that one lot. Adam has a comment on that. It's just the kind of problem that makes your teeth hurt. I mean, you're just trying to find why they didn't dig a hole. I think it's because it's winter. I don't know. What do you think, Adam?
Hey, Tom, there's a lot of different contractors out there that could dig that trench and find that gas main to that guy's mobile home.
Why do you think they're screwing around?
They are.
Why?
They could do it in a couple of hours.
I just don't know why. I think they don't want to spend the money.
Is it private gas, or whose gas is it?
That's a good point. Hold on a sec. Let's figure this out. Jonathan, is it a gas company or what?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Do you know, who would you get your bill from?
Well, I have the bill right in front of me, and it just says the bill is from the park.
So the park probably has a master meter and then sub-meters. Probably. But who are they buying the gas from? Do you know?
No.
Or do they have some giant big tank?
Ours is the only lot that would have a large tank. That's what they told us, and they will have to come out every month or so to fill it.
Wait a minute. So you're not getting central gas anyway. They're going to put a tank on there.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a whole different story. Hold on a sec. Hold on. I'm totally baffled. Jonathan, does the park have central gas to every single trailer?
Yes, everybody has their own gas line, but ours, they said, will be separate.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking, does everyone have their own tank?
Oh, no. Some do, some don't.
Okay, so they're not going to run a line. They're going to simply give you a gas tank. You can call up and do that yourself. You can call a gas company and have your own tank put in.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, Jonathan, why they're not telling you this. If you just told me you were waiting for a gas, I thought they were digging a line to their main. Now you're telling me you're going to have a big tank and the park's going to come out and fill it every couple of months, right?
Yes, sir. That's what we were aware of.
But then that means they're just calling a gas company to put a tank there. You can have an account directly with the gas company.
Okay.
See, well, listen, man, we're going to help you. Just hold on. Dan, you got to get to the bottom of this as to whether or not, because why is he waiting for them to do it? You call a gas company, they come and plop a giant tank down for you.
Well, that's if it's propane. I mean,
well,
that's find out if it's natural gas or propane. Yeah.
He said they're bringing a tank. It has to be propane. They don't put...
It is, yeah.
Well, they don't... I mean, I don't see what else it could be. Tim, what is your comment?
My comment is that, well, I didn't know this other than the tank, but he could call 811 and get locates on it and find out where all
well,
the
it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter because he's getting a tank. He's getting a tank. So, I mean, I spent all this time wondering why they didn't dig a gas main, and then he told me they're getting a tank. I don't know what they're getting, but we're going to put it on hold until we find out for the guy. We need to help him. Just find out. Forget it. Oh, my God.
Maybe he's getting the tank, but they never ran the line from the trailer to wherever the tank's going to be.
All right, Paul, what's going on with you, Paul?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking the call here. Listen, my wife went to work for a company called Charter Communications in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
They do a lot of job fairs. They're hiring a lot of people, putting a lot of people through the front door. The job's supposed to pay $15.75 an hour. They trained her. She was hired on November 24th.
Now, how do you know how much it's supposed to pay, Paul?
Because that's the way they advertise that rate at the job fairs.
Okay.
And that was her agreed upon rate of
All right.
$15.75.
All right, so what's the problem? When did she go to work? When?
Well, she started work on November 24th.
Okay.
And then what they did was, after the holidays, she comes back in on the 2nd, on January 2nd, and she's supposed to go on the phone. It's a call center. She's supposed to go on the phone. They trained her all the way through all that time. She's an ace. She's been doing this since 2000. And she's getting ready to get on the phone. She's all excited about it. She's very up about it. And some HR person comes over to her and goes, you missed 30 minutes on the first day. We're letting you go. And by the way, you've been let go on December 20th. Well, they didn't tell us anything at all about being fired on the 20th.
Wait a minute. So they're not on that January 2nd. Right. She wasn't late. They're saying she was late back in December.
She's late on her very first day in November.
Oh, in November. And they just got around to firing her effective December 20th.
That's correct.
Well, what difference would it, may I ask you something, what difference does it make when it's effective? That's the part I need to know first.
Well, I'm saying, when apparently they declared it's the 20th when they didn't tell her.
I understand, but what difference does it make? I'm just asking. If it was the 20th, the 25th, the 2nd, what difference does it make?
Well, the difference is the net check is supposed to be about $11.57. And instead of $11.57, the check came in $6.74.
But here's the bottom line, though, Paul.
Right.
I fire you effective the 20th. But if you work after that, I don't get to not pay you. I still have to pay you. I mean, did they let her come and work after the 20th?
They let her come back to work and did not tell her.
Okay, I don't care about the telling right now. Here's what I need to know. How many days, there's a reason I'm being so insistent. How many days after the 20th when she was supposedly fired, how many days did she work?
There was none, right? The 20th.
Well, then they don't have to pay her. So why is there a difference in pay?
Well, there is a holiday pay that everyone else got.
No. They don't have to do that. If she didn't work it, Paul, I was going to say if she was fired effective the 20th. I know you're telling me they did not tell her, but she did not work after that. And you're saying she should have gotten the holiday pay everyone else did because she didn't find out until January 2nd.
Correct.
Paul, I got to be straight with you, man. I'm not gonna discourage you. You do whatever you want, but she's not going to get paid for holiday pay for a brand new job that they say she was fired from. I mean, I don't know how you even enforce that because she thought she was on the job. It would have been different if she worked even a couple hours after the 20th. But when was the last time she actually did work?
Well, she just about an hour or so before they told her on the 2nd.
No, I'm not talking about that. When did she started on the 24th, right?
That's correct.
How many days in December did she work?
Well, she worked her full shift through the 20th.
Okay. And then through the 20th, she left. Now you said she worked a few hours on the 2nd?
That's correct.
Well, I was there about
She actually worked on the 2nd. She logged in and worked.
She logged in, and she was only there for about a little less than an hour.
Yeah, but hold on. That might change everything. If they let her come to work, then she wasn't fired if she logged in. Now, what excuse do they have for letting her work on the 2nd?
Well, I logged in, and they told me not to get on the phone because they wanted to talk to me.
So you actually did not do any work. You just logged in, but you were there for an hour.
Correct.
But here's what I want to know. why did they even let you log on? Why didn't they call or write a letter or something?
Exactly.
That's what I don't know.
Exactly, and it put us in a bind for rent. And
I understand that, Paul. Now listen, here's what you can do. No matter what, you should take the money they're paying. And if you think you're owed more money, if truly they let her come to work on the 2nd, I would make an argument that they owe her for that hour on the 2nd. Whether or not she gets holiday pay, I don't know, Paul. I really don't. But I would at least contact Wage and Hour. They really do listen, Paul. That's a little different on that. What were you going to say, George? That's a little different. When they should have never let her show up on the 2nd.
They shouldn't have. And I think the fact that they did. They'll have to look into this, but
makes it continuous.
They have to pay you for half the day.
If
they let you show up for work, they have to pay you for half that day. And the thing with the benefits, is a lot of people don't give you holiday pay until you've been there 60 days, 90 days. So
yeah, do you know if those other people that got holiday pay? I just need to know this. Yeah. The ones that got holiday people, the other people, were they there longer than you?
No, people in my class were...
okay, then I would definitely... Okay, if people in your class were paid for days not worked during Christmas, they were actually paid for holidays.
Right.
Are you sure of that?
Yes.
Then I would say that if they let you come in on the 2nd, you were never notified, and you came in on the 2nd, I would take the extra money, and I really would sue them in small claims court for that amount, and I would call Wage and Hour and put in a complaint, because I would have every reason to believe I'm still working, and if I'm still working and I come in on the 2nd, see, the fact that they let you log in, that's the part that bothers me. They should have never let you in the door if you were truly fired.
You don't even have to sue them. Just go to Wage and Hour and handle it.
If you go to Wage and Hour, they'll handle it, Paul, but they may tell you to go to small claims court. So go to Wage and Hour first.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, iHeart radio station with Russ Kaminsky.
If they really didn't. But if they didn't, and it is within their benefit policy that she should have been paid, she should have been paid.
I know it.
Absolutely.
No, they can't just pick her.
So if that's true,
it sounds to me
everything they're saying is totally true.
Here's what it sounds to me like. It sounds like somebody in management forgot to let her know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. So
but that woman thought she had a job.
And Wage and Hour will make her, the labor board will make her pay.
Paul, listen. Also, the other argument is she didn't look for another job because she was never notified. She thought she had a job. So when we tell you to go to Wage and Hour, it's not because we're giving you the brush off. They truly will do something about it. I mean, because the first argument is they let you log on the 2nd, and then everyone else got all that back pay and you got none. The second thing is you never had an opportunity to look for another job. She sat on her butt because she thought she had a job. So those are the two things I would do. And you call us back after you call Wage and Hour, okay? All right.
They are right now. She's
All right.
actually on the Foreign Affairs Committee.
All right.
Can you imagine? You never hear people complain about the Australians.
Did she call and book those people? I think we said something about
All right. 10 seconds, Raleigh. This hotline is not an emergency line, but it's for information about addiction. The Raleigh House is sponsoring this because they want you to be fully informed. Like, what do you look for? What are the telltale signs? Where do you get treatment? What treatment is available? Like, what is the Raleigh House about? What else is available? They'll be happy to answer any and all questions confidentially and as many times as you need to call to really be comfortable. If you have an addict in your life, 720-963-9201, 720-963-9201, theraleighouse.com.
2019 is here, and we're still in the low. Denver's housing market is continuing to increase in value, with over 35,000 more families moving in than out annually.
I wonder if that Starbucks guy will run. I tell you, to me, he seems like the most common sense guy so far.
I like him too. I like him a lot.
Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
But he will take away from Trump, though. He'll take away
Well, I
from...
think the Democrats are worried that
He'll take away from both, but
He'd
mostly...
mostly Dems.
You think so? Why? Is he a liberal?
He's
because
socialist, liberal.
He's a socialist?
No, I'm sorry.
A billionaire socialist?
He said socialist.
Just give your fucking money away then. Why bother running?
He's a Democrat. He's a Democrat, but
he's a fucking billionaire.
Social liberal, but
he's a billionaire
conservative,
beyond any of it.
Finance guy.
Fiscally.
Well, of course, he's a billionaire.
That's how
So he would run independent?
Right.
You know, I can read
No,
the
no,
tiny...
well,
Yeah, you do it, Ross, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I could be classified as almost socialist.
He would hurt nobody. He would hurt the Dems, period.
No, you're not pro-life.
No, I am pro-life.
I'm sorry, you are pro-life, so that would get you not a social liberal.
No, not at all, dude. How can you say that?
But that's probably...
That's like their number one fucking thing.
That's my only issue.
Let's see.
He wants free pizza on Fridays.
You want free pizza?
He wants everybody to have a base wage, whether they want to work or not.
That's fiscally. That's fiscally conservative.
Not
You want free health care for all?
How about movies?
No, but I think we need a universal health
Do
care.
you want open borders?
No.
How could you have a
That's
universal?
social. That's not fiscal.
You couldn't have a universal.
Of some kind. We need to do something with health
But you
care.
couldn't.
People
Who would pay for it?
I don't know. We need to figure something out is what I'm thinking.
Well, actually, Trump said a little bit on there.
I think
on
we
his
got,
speech.
look, I want to help people.
Not that-
Somehow we got to have
You wouldn't be
something
able to
better.
choose your own doctor.
Our health care sucks, man.
Don't doctor no.
Oh, of course you can, just like Obama said.
Well, it didn't suck. It didn't suck before Obama
Yeah,
did.
it did.
No, it didn't.
Come on.
No,
Yeah, you had Buddy George.
No.
Mine did not suck at all.
Hi, Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, George, when it comes to, we talked about when to buy things, when to buy certain things. Okay, I've always thought it's silly to buy certain things through a service company as opposed to yourself. But I might be wrong. Like water filtration, like just a point of contact at the faucet. But, I mean, I guess you have to, though. Because if you don't know how to do it, how do you feel about people if they buy something online from Amazon and have you install it? Do you guys do that or not?
We don't. I mean, we used to.
Because you don't
and the
want to
reason why
take
we don't-
responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, if something happens with that part, now...
What if they say this is the one I want?
They're mad at me if something happens with the part.
What if they say this is the one I want, or do you only do what you supply? In other words, what if I find one on Amazon I like? I mean, can you guys...
Depends on what it is. So a faucet, we'll install a faucet. If you get your own faucet, we'll do that.
Oh, that's a lot.
So I guess it depends on what it is.
Yeah, because
So if you go
faucets
buy
are
your own
very
motor for your
personal.
furnace? No, we're not going to put that in.
Because you guys can't really do designer, faucets that people have. I mean, it's not... In other words, if I buy a house and want to change out my faucets, and I have each faucet laying at the door of each bathroom, you guys go around. When somebody moves into a house, I know you guys do that, right?
Yeah, we'll do that.
And toilets?
But if something happens with that faucet, we just don't warrant. We warranty the labor of it, but that's it.
So what faucet companies have the best warranties? I think faucets are outrageously priced. I don't mean from you. I mean from anywhere. I've seen faucets $1,400. That's why I like buy and build, man. You can buy that $1,400 faucet for $250.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is this. Does it make a difference? Does it really make a difference? You hear Moen and you hear different Kohler. Do you see a difference in quality amongst the faucet manufacturers?
As far as failure, no.
That's right. It's just the looks, really. The inside cartridges are basically the same.
You can find cheap ones, don't get me wrong, but any of the ones we install, failure rate is about the same.
And so can you find, like, what are the lower price really good ones that you like on the market? Not necessarily what you sell, but like what are the ones we can really save money and you like them? You think they're a good faucet? Because no one ever really checks this out. They don't check out faucets. They just buy them. They buy them on looks. But as far as the insides, does it make a hill of beans?
It doesn't. So that's why we have a catalog, and we'll show you. And I don't have a preference because for you it is a look. I mean, for me, if I'm buying a faucet for my own house,
right?
I mean, I would tell you right now it'd be the look. That's the only thing I would personally be going by.
What about the inside guts of a toilet? They have the new kind that they all look like that float is on is it looks like a ride at Elitch's. You know what I mean? It goes up the pole and down, as opposed to just swinging out float. Do you know what I mean by that? I'm talking about all-in-one.
Yeah.
Have you seen, Dan, those toilet guts I'm talking about, where the float is part of a rod that goes up and down, as opposed to just, you know, the arm where the balloon on the end of the arm? Those I don't like. The new kind, they have to have less failure. Those. What does it cost to rebuild a faucet, to rebuild a toilet? Is it expensive?
To rebuild a toilet,
what are the ranges?
$100. I don't know. I don't have.
It's not that much.
It's not that much.
I think another thing that people should do: frickin' flapper valves. Whether you think they're leaking or not,
get them checked,
or change them out every couple of years, because we found one that was leaking just a little. Every now and then we'd hear, and it stopped. So then I looked at the others, and there's tiny mineral deposits underneath them that let water gradually seep out. And that little bit of water over a year or two will mean money. So I just changed them all out. They're like $5 frickin'. Now that's something you definitely don't need a plumber for, unless you're an idiot. Now there are some people I imagine can't do it, but those flapper valves, you go and you get one that, a universal flapper valve, and it works. Bam. What's Flowmaster? What are you talking about? Suzanne, she's said something about. Hey, Craig, what's going on?
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I had a comment about the woman who called, the senior that called you from La Cresta Mobile Home Park in Colorado Springs.
Yes. We're trying to get her some help, yeah.
You know, as you know, Colorado is an increasingly expensive place to live.
Terribly expensive.
And when she mentioned what she's paying, I'm thinking to myself, you know, unless she's moving out of town, like to the Western Slope.
Oh, she's not going to find anything cheaper, you're thinking.
Exactly.
Well, she was getting, I believe, subsidized housing.
Oh, is she getting?
Yeah, that's what I think. And I'm talking, you know, some of the Section 8 subsidies, I mean, older people on a limited income can pay as little as $45 or $60 a month. Did you know that?
I'm a landlord and a contractor and a real estate broker. I deal in manufactured homes.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
You know, manufactured homes, and I don't mean to insult you, Craig, but I think they're a rip when people think they're getting a place to live, because if you have an older one,
yeah,
these mobile home parks I found try to squeeze you out because they want to make room for new ones.
Actually,
they have incentives, and they get paid cash incentives sometimes from the dealers.
Yeah, the state of Colorado has allowed the counties to develop their own codes. El Paso County, you can't move a home that's 1978 or older.
Oh.
The only permit you can get is to take it to the dump. So,
wow.
So she's pretty much stuck. And then when I heard that she added a whole new addition to the side, it's a real curious thing. I'm wondering if that was added prior to her ownership, because actually, because that's illegal. Yeah, I'm sure she didn't get a permit.
Why is it illegal?
How do you build onto a mobile home?
Because they are governed by HUD codes, building codes, and unless you get an engineered plan to add on to
I see what you're saying.
They just won't do it. They say structurally it's not.
Man,
it's not built for
I have seen some things added on look like chicken coops. They're so bad.
Sponsored by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
As soon as she said that add on, I said, boy, that's
How old was it?
It was the 70s.
So it's literally worth nothing. In fact, the only place she can move it is literally the dump.
In fact, it's probably negative.
Give us something.
Well, yeah, because you got to move it.
For 5 callers. No, you don't.
No. I should have typical special, but
typical 39. Do this.
No, 24.
Yeah, but does the price matter?
Free furnace and AC.
Some I'm gonna say though.
Purchase
I'm gonna say, look, the
of
purpose
a $39 furnace and AC.
is to see what we do. If you've done the special before, you can't get it again.
To the first two.
Not once, they do it more than once.
Well, why would they?
There's people that try to book 10 properties.
You got to know what state.
There's some people that try to take advantage of it.
1995 though.
They gotta guess where you got.
Okay, here we are. Rocky's Autos for used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. 40 lenders to choose from. Do you know what that means? You may find a lender that takes better for people that have a lot of money down. Some people want a little money down. Some people hardly any down. They have enough lenders to choose from. They also have better pricing, and every single price tag is marked on every single car, so you know what you're paying, or you can negotiate. Buy it now. There's no pressure. and they give great trades because, I'll tell you why, they give great value on trades because they want to sell them right there on the lot. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturdays, 9 to 6 at 63rd and Federal. Give them a call to see if they have what you want, but or go to RockiesAutos.com. The number is 303-426-4646. They have the essentials: product, price, and process. The process is hassle-free. You pick the car, you buy it. They arrange the financing right there. Everything is 100% done before you leave. They never call you back and say, oh, we made a mistake or you have to pay more. That's a bunch of crap. Rockies never does that. Rockies Autos, 63rd and Federal.
19 is here, and rates are still in the low 4s. Denver's housing market is continuing to increase in value, with over 35,000 more families moving in than out annually. The feds continue to raise short-term rates, like auto loans, credit cards, but many of our clients are paying off their credit cards before rates increase again. Others are doing much-needed home improvements, like
She's something.
finishing basements, etc. And then some are just putting
I like her.
Oh, yeah, you like her.
affordable interest mortgages.
She's the one that said, anybody who votes for Trump, if your man is voting for Trump, you need to lock your pussy.
I agree with
that. You need to lock your pussy.
What does that mean?
You can't have sex if your boyfriend or husband, whatever, votes for Trump.
Who said that?
Joy Behar on The View.
One of these people that you...
Did she say that on the air?
She is...
I'll say that.
she is liberal.
She's liberal. Yeah, she's conservative.
That whole show is...
She's just,
never was.
No, she's stupid.
She's just flat out stupid. Okay, I'll give it to you.
Our country's getting flat out stupid.
Well, now that Trump's 52% though.
Yeah, that's only for a few days.
He's got more now. Well, no, but these few days are important because you know what happens Friday.
He'll never be president.
What?
Again.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's what everybody said the first
That's
time.
what I know. I love that. You know
Mark
how often
my
I
words.
heard that?
Hey, mark my words.
You wanna
True
bet on
love.
that?
Oh my
Bet on
God,
that.
it's the same shit I heard leading
I'll
up
bet
to
you
the
anything.
He actually texted me the night of the election. See, I told you, Hillary's killing it.
I said, looks like a landslide.
Did you save that text or did you already erase it?
I listened to that for 6 months. I just quit fucking arguing.
The videos are funny of all the people are like, mark my words, he will never win.
Or
You remember that time there was a bunch of people, it was on the news, and somebody said, who do you think will be president? And he said, this was really early, Trump. And they all busted out laughing like it was such a joke.
I know.
All right. Hello! All right, listen. I can't, Suzanne, line one is going to take more of a research here to find out the parameters and make some calls. So we can't do it. He called too late. 303-713-TALK. Let's do a special, though. I want to do a special and on Fix It 24/7. Make it hurt. What is it?
Hey, Tom, so the rest of today, anybody who calls in to get our furnace tune-up, and again...
The tune-up and check and clean, all three.
Yep, which guarantees, we guarantee that your furnace will not break down this season. In fact...
They actually adjust burners, they take out the blower motor, clean it, they take it apart to the extent they can, a bunch of stuff. They clean the cabinet, they oil, or lube, and do all of that.
We actually clean the dirt out, which is what causes furnaces to break down.
It's not just an inspection. It truly is remarkable. It looks like you bought it new used.
It's not an inspection at all. It's a,
okay,
it's cleaning. It's a cleaning, right?
How much though?
So we've done thousands of these. You know how many we've had to refund the cleaning for because the furnace broke down?
How many?
2.
2?
That's it.
Well,
so I mean, if nothing else, I mean.
But at least you do what you said. And okay, so now, and those 2, what happened, by the way?
Just a part went out.
Okay,
I mean,
so what do you think?
Even if a part goes out, we'll refund the cleaning.
Okay.
Because obviously it really works. We've done thousands of these and only have had 2.
So what do you think as far as price now? It's usually it's worth way more than $150. I know this.
Full price is $139.
Well, even that sounds cheap to me. Really, it does.
For what we do, it is.
But then you normally do it for $39, but now you're going to do it even cheaper. How much?
We've done specials for $39. And by the way, if if you've ever done a special, we only do the special once for somebody. We don't do it again. So
because it's to introduce your company. I get it. I get it.
We just want them to see what we lose money on that. We want them to see what we do and what we're about.
So then, let's
one time only.
For today only. Today, how much is it going to be?
It's $19.95
okay, that's
for anybody who calls in today. So just mention the.
It has to be today only. Okay, now listen to what you're getting, and just tell them to check with George. Okay, if they doubt it. $19.95 furnace, check, and clean and adjust. Furnace, check, clean, and adjust. $19.95. We're not even putting a limit except for today. What time today?
Just anytime today.
What time do you close?
We close at 7.
But you have 24/7. However, it does. This is not 24/7. This is until 7.
Through 7 o'clock tonight.
Through 7 o'clock. You got to have it through 7 o'clock, and it's $19.95. That's an incredible price.
Now, what do people do if they love it and they got either the 39 or today's special, but next year want you to do it again? Well, how much is it? $130?
No.
If they're not a member, it's $139.
What does that mean, a member?
Well, our membership includes getting your furnace cleaned in the winter, your AC cleaned before
It's a loyalty
summer,
program.
Your plumbing, so sediment builds up in your water
tank,
heater and it goes to your plumbing system.
So you maintain all three.
We maintain the plumbing system. We drain out the sediment
do
out
you
of
get
their
a
water
cleaning?
heater.
Do you get a cleaning of all three?
And how much is
every year?
If you are a member.
Hold on.
$19.95 a month. That's
okay.
It. And we do all three. You get 4 visits. And
how many visits?
4, because you get your 2 for you get your furnace, your AC, your plumbing, your electrical. $19.95 a month if you're a member.
Wow.
So hold on. And what else do you get? Do you get priority pricing?
Yeah, you get
priority service, so you get front of the line. So if you do have an issue, you
do you get
go
discounts?
To the front of the line, you get discounts.
So for $239, and those four cleanings anyway would be the 4 service calls anyway at the cheapest would be, it's a $239. I'm just trying to do the math.
It'd be like $1,000. Well, no.
No. I'm saying
139 times 4.
No, I'm saying if you have those done at their special price, even 4 would be $160 anyway, and you're paying $239. Then you get priority appointments. And you get discounts, special discounts. So if you're talking, because you don't pay the same as anyone else, so $239. If you minus the dead hard services you're getting, so it's $239.
It actually almost is free, Tom, because we actually.
I'm trying to figure that out. Minus $160, that gives you a difference of $79, and that $79 is made up for in priority pricing.
But let me tell you this: we also keep track of what you pay if you're a member, and all of your membership fees for the entire time you're a member. When it comes time to replace your furnace or water
refunded,
heater, is credited back. So it's basically free.
Hey, Dante, I saw that you called in earlier, and I didn't want to take it because we want to take a longer time to do this. You want advice on buying a vehicle, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, what are you looking for?
So I'm looking anywhere your range, like 2010 to 2013.
Okay, more than that, what is your budget?
Looking to spend no more than like $24,000 or $25,000.
Okay, I want to ask something. Are you going to finance?
Yes.
Okay. And how is your credit?
It's good.
How good?
I think I'm sitting like at a 740 right now.
Oh, you're looking really good. Now, Dante, the most important question, do you have any money down?
I was going to. The problem is I'm going to be probably a little upside down in the current car I have right now.
You know why? Because I'm going to tell you something. You're one of these young people, I think, that you get caught in the fever and you get a little negative equity because if you have great credit, if you have income, you're prime for a near-new vehicle and you're prime for good deals that you'll never have these problems. About how much negative equity do you think you have?
It's not going to be much. I'm hoping...
You know what? Let's analyze this tomorrow. Please call back. Honest to goodness, Mark, he's calling before the damage, so maybe we can help him. You call tomorrow, but call earlier in the show if you can. Okay, Fix It 24/7, 303-526-3939 for that special. And remember, save all your problems for me.
Knock George's out quick because you're both sitting right here.
I know.
I'm going to tell him how I want him to
Who else is coming?
I don't even remember, but like 3 people.
3? I got to pick up my kids at 3.
It'll be before 3. It's going to be a half-hour tops apiece, man.
Okay, I'm going to use the restroom.
Make sure you dig in.
Okay, man, we're going to do some recordings here. You're going to do it raw and send it to me on a link.